Ladies, gentlemen, league players, and gamers, welcome back to what is looking to be a fucking great big long hullabaloo, and I'm glad I'm starting it early, of the patch 10.23 notes reviewing. So, as per usual, I'm going to go through these patch notes, the big preseason patch notes. I'm going to see all the new stuff, look at it, say if I think it's good, if it's bad, if it's useless. Look at buffs, nerfs. I don't know if they're actually doing any buffs or nerfs in this patch. I hope they are. And just give my overall impression of the patch. So, without further ado, we actually have to go on Google for this one because it's not even on the fucking client yet. But, let's see what's going on here. So, it's that time again. It's preseason. Now, usually for every league preseason in the past, they've done something to shake up the game pretty drastically, right? Eventually, they remade the old map into the new one, which wasn't really a big change, but kind of. Then, for one of the other ones, they did the new dragons. You know, instead of the dragon giving gold, it gave elemental buffs. They reworked that a little bit. They added Rift Herald, changed Baron up, a whole bunch of stuff. This year, they're not doing anything map-wise. They're just changing all the items. And I'm actually very excited because we've had the same items in League of Legends with some changes and additions and subtractions over the years. But in general, most of the items have stayed pretty much the same aside from buffs or nerfs. Now, that being said, this is huge because not only did we get the rune update for one of the preseasons, now we're getting a huge item update, which is going to drive the meta all over the fucking place. So, I don't know if I'm going to say where people are after the meta, or after these changes. I think that's almost impossible to say, but all I know is I think ADs are going to be decently better. I hope, because right now they're abysmal. It's a reason why Cutie left the game and doesn't play it anymore, because ADs became something he didn't want them to become. Useless and ass. But anyway, let's get into the patch notes. So, there's a new item system and everything, a new shop. They redid the shop. They redid, I think, if not most, all of the new pictures for the items. Like, it's great. But anyway, we'll be going through all that stuff. So let me just see what's over here. So, we do actually have new skins. Now, I guess I'll explain it here. I'll explain as we just go through it. I don't know if they're going to explain it for me, but I'll just do it here. So, we have new mythic items, right? Previously in League, we didn't really have any sort of tiered items. We had components, and we had items that they build into, right? You never played League with a component and then just left it there unless you were either planning to sell it or it was super, super important, aka Quicksilver Sash, because it did a purpose. And then even then, you would either build it into a completed item or you would sell it. Now, that's different. Now we actually have different sets of items. We have legendary items, which, if I were to compare them to something, it would be the items of old, right? It would be your IEs, your Rabadons, Banshee's Veil. Any completed item pre this patch is a legendary item. That's just how it is. Now there's a certain tier of item above that called mythic items. These items, you can only get one of. You only get one mythic item. But that mythic item then affects all the other items you get later on by giving them stat bonuses, right? So what do I mean by that? Let's just say, I mean, they'll probably have the example later on, but let's just say there's an AD item called the Giant Great AD Big Dick Sword. And this Giant AD Big Dick Sword gives attack speed, attack damage, life steal, and crit. It gives 4 stuff, right? And then it has some really cool passive or active. And then because it's a mythic item, it will give a certain stat. It will say, okay, every legendary item, which, like I said before, is the old items, just, regular completed items. For every legendary item you have, they give you, let's just say in Big Dick AD Sword's case, they give you plus 5 AD. So every legendary item I have after that will scale me a certain way. All the mythic items do that. Any mythic item you now get will give you something that defines your gameplay, either an active or a passive. And on top of that, will give you just basically passive stats that you get for going later in the game. But anyway, They updated a lot of items too. So not only is there a new class of item, there's new item updates to existing items, and they added some old items in from what I saw. So the skins, probably the weakest part of this patch, but not because they're not good, but because they're getting overshadowed. Victorious Lucian, I actually think, well, I'm surprised they're giving it to an AD, but I actually think the Victorious Lucian skin is fairly decent. If you're gold and you don't have a Lucian skin, it's definitely a good thing to use. Obviously, it gets outshadowed by his shadow skin, fucking High Noon. But overall, it's not bad. I actually thought the Victorious skins would be really shit, but they're slowly stepping it up. And aside from that, the theme we're returning to this patch is Battlecast. So we have, for those of you who don't know, Battlecast is a separate universe with Program, I believe, no, it's Battlecast and Resistance. I don't know if Project and Program are within the same universe as Battlecast, but I'll have to check that out. But yeah, so it's Battlecast and Resistance, right? Battlecast is Victor creates mechanized versions of the champions and Resistance tries to fight them. Basically, this is the universe where Victor said, okay, I'm done playing around, and he's not. He basically fucks shit up. But anyway, Battlecast Nasus, really good skin. If you don't use his legendary, which isn't even that good anymore in my opinion, compared to what's coming out, this is definitely probably his second best skin, I would say. Second, third best, easily. Battlecast Zac. There's a weird thing about this skin. It's not a bad skin. I think a lot of the Zac skins are pretty lackluster in general. There's not much you could do with him to make him cool. This one makes him decently cool. It's kind of Terminator themed in my eyes. But there's something I wish they did, right? If you look at the splash art, you see Zac is like kind of gray, kind of blackish. But in game, he's super like white. He's super white, gray, barely any black at all. And they have a chroma for him, which I swear to God looks like his splash art. I don't know if it's Riot just fucking up, or if it's just Riot doing this intentionally. I'm assuming it's just a fuck up, because the splash art is kind of misleading to when you get in game, and it's actually because of chromas you see this. Because there exists a black chroma for this skin, it looks exactly identical to the splash art, and it's like, wow. They kind of like just switched it around, I guess. But anyway, decent skin overall. I just wish they switched the base with the black chroma and made the white one, which is his base right now, of the Battlecast Zac skin, into the chroma. But anyway, that's a little complicated. Good skin. Resistance Jace, I didn't see it. I don't care. I hate Jace. Resistance Singed, probably one of his best skins. Dope-ass splash art as fuck. And Resistance Yorick, probably Yorick's best skin. The fucking machine you summon as an ulti, which is supposed to be the maiden, looks sick as fuck. It's very good skin. And the red theme goes very well with him. He doesn't really have any red themed skins. Just light and like blue purplish. You know, light yellow. Aside from that, they updated the item shop, the look and feel, and apparently it has a new, I guess, AI sort of thing where it sees the enemy team, it sees what you're playing, and then it recommends you builds, which is great for beginners. Super fucking good. And we actually have a beginner in our party right now, Jalik, which is trying to learn the game. So, super good for him and super good for new players. I'm curious to see how good it's going to be in reality. Because obviously League has had a history of, you know, telling you to heal when the minions are attacking you, which is like, okay, that's obviously wrong once you get past the kindergarten level of playing this game, but whatever. Riot's teaching people the wrong way for a long time, and I'm hoping they're actually going to teach people the right things, but it's hard to say probably when I first start playing, because the patch comes out tomorrow. You know I'm going to be playing this shit. Excuse me. It's hard to say whether the builds that they're going to recommend you are going to be wrong or right at the beginning, because like I said, the whole meta is getting shifted, and these items, for the most part, are really new. So there's not going to be, oh, you build IE into a Zeal item, into another crit item. It's like, there's no set path anymore that's meta, because we don't even know it yet. We literally have to explore a lot of stuff. So there's that. Hopefully it's good, though. So let's actually get into it. The item shop refresh was designed with a few different goals. We want to create a streamlined, data-based, recommended item experience. Okay, cool. Improve the usability of all the item views, which is really good. I actually like that. The old item viewing system isn't bad. It's literally just a list of every single item. And then you could, you know, obviously, what's the word for it? You could like parse through it as you wanted. You could apply different filters, which was nice. But in general, it was nothing to write home about. But it worked for what it was. It was very simple. And I kind of don't know if I'm going to miss it because I didn't play PB to try this new system out. But I hope they keep that in mind with this new system. Just have it to where I could see everything and buy what I want. But let's see. They maintain the ability to use and import item sets. I never use that, but some pro players like Sneaky do. And update the visual look and feel to match League's evolving aesthetic. That is the biggest thing I like about this update. Or not the biggest thing, one of the biggest things. They put an emphasis on quality and look, and it shows. Look at this shit right here, right? Look at this shit. It looks really good now. Again, the old system wasn't anything to write home about. It wasn't beautiful by any means. This actually looks like it's from League of Legends. Like, it looks client-themed. I don't know, for those of you who play League and go on the client, it looks client-themed. But anyway, as always, we'll be keeping our ears to the ground as we continue to work. Okay, cool. So that means if the fucking AI sucks cock with what it's recommending, hopefully they'll fix it. But let's see. The recommended items page displays relevant items for your champion based on where you currently are in your build and who you're up against and how the game is progressing. Now, here's my question, right? If it says this, what happens if you're going mid, you're having a shitty time, the game's recommending you items, and then you switch top? Will the shop's AI be able to recognize that a lane switch occurred and you're up against someone different now? Like, how do they really tell who you're against aside from going into draft pick? I don't know how this is going to work in blind pick, but I'm assuming, because most people play blind pick, I hope, or that has to be what the major population plays, it has to have a way to know that. So I'm just assuming there's a way to know who you're up against. It's probably like, oh, who have you fought the most or something. They'll code it in probably. But anyway, and how the game is progressing. It's meant to provide a quick way for you to understand what comes next on your journey to go plus ultra. Man, ever since they introduced the My Hero skins, I just pray to God we get a fucking JoJo skin eventually. Set Dio would be great. Anyway, data-driven recommendations. The percent items update based on the most popular build for your champion. That is great. That is basically taking what some sites do, like champ.gg, and just importing it into the game already. That's super fucking good. But not great in terms of pro play, but good for all tiers lower than that. Like, what a champion builds that's most popular isn't great all of the time, especially in high play, because you might need to adjust the build in very specific ways. And because it's an aggregate of all the data, it's sometimes not the right thing. But I would say for 95% of the time, this will help. So that's good. Item advice. Find out if the item will help you specifically stomp a pesky opponent or if it's generally an all-around good choice. That's cool. Display some of the most common items purchased for your champion. Great. Cool. So you can see what the meta is. I hope this functions as it's actually saying it is, because Riot has a history of lying to us. And they just make it sound good, and then it actually doesn't really do that. But I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. I'm hoping it's like this. But let me look at this real quick. So you have quick buy stuff on the left, boots and stuff like that. Recommended. Okay, they have an all item thing, and then they have item sets. That's great. And here you could actually see some of the things that they're good against, and some of the mythics. I'm assuming these are mythics. They tell you what they do. Burst damage, slows enemies. Wow, that's so cool. An anti-tank. Oh my god. I saw something that kind of made me disgusted. You guys, well, no one knows because no one watches my shit, but I know that I'm a sucker for bleed and like poison type shit, right? Like I'm a sucker for dot. Like I love damage over time shit. And Liandry's isn't the only dot item anymore. Now there's like a second item, so you could get like a double dot on people. And I nutted. I was like, yes. And it increases in damage. We'll see it. We'll see it. We'll go through it. Now, I'm going to try not to make this shit too long, but we'll see. So anyway. Hold on, let me burp. Oh, God. It's coming. Excuse me. All right, cool. I ate a tomato before this. Okay, so then we have the all items page. What is it? What is this? The fuck is that? Oh god, what'd I do? Oh no. Okay, never mind. I didn't fuck it. Okay, anyway. So the all items page looks pretty bare. Oh, that's because they have the filters. Never mind. They have the filters. Okay, that's fine. Okay. The all items page is where you go off if you want to see all the items. Great. It contains everything you need to slice and dice the armory of League down to reasonable chunks. Interesting. Class tabs. Your champion's class tab would automatically be selected, which helps you avoid looking for tank items on Ari. But you could build that if you want to. The recommended tab displays all the completed items your champion likes to build. Okay. Clicking on this will raise your elo. Oh, I highly doubt that. Unless you're like bronze or below, or maybe silver or below. Stat filters allow you to find the specialty, ability, power, and text you've been looking for. Okay, cool. So they have everything the old one did, plus a little bit more. Quick buy panels. What's this? Oh, shit. Okay, so that's the stuff on the left. You may have noticed some tabs hanging out on the left side of the shop, including introducing the quick buy panels. You may commonly purchase items like potions, elixirs, wards, and boots, easy to access and quick to buy. So that was my fear. I was hoping that those aren't just on the left side. I was hoping those are in the all items shit as well, and it seems like they are. They didn't show it explicitly, but I'm assuming they are, which is good. So they have a consumables tab, a boots tab, and an inventory tab. Cool. Nice. Mythic items. Okay, this is the big thing I said before. Let's see if they'll reiterate what I said or say it better. Mythic items are new highest item tier that will become the cornerstone of your build, with big effects that define your playstyle in each game. That's kind of like what I said. You can only own one at a time, so selecting a mythic item and its effects depends on your and the game state. Your mythic also sets the tone for the rest of your build. Okay, see, this is what's confusing, right? They say selecting a mythic item depends on your opponents and the game state. It really doesn't depend on the game state at all. It really just depends on the opponents, right? Because just mathematically speaking, because of what I said before, how the mythic items scale with each legendary you buy after them, it doesn't make sense to not get them first. And Riot even said you're going to buy these first. So the game state of if you're feeding or if you're not feeding, or if the game's going good or bad, you won't know because this is a first buy item. It's going to be too early, unless you're a professional like me, to know that sort of stuff. So it's like, if I know I'm going to feed, I'm obviously going to buy the defensive carry item. But I don't know that. What if I think I'm going to carry and I buy the carry one and then I just get shit on? Like, you don't know these things. I don't know how you could. But that's a big whole bunch of hoo-ha that they're saying. But anyway. Your mythic also sets the tone for the rest of your build, both in terms of what the other items you'll want to pick up as well as the mythic passive, what I'm talking about, that adds extra stats to your other fully completed items, now known as legendaries. Mythic items generally carry the most complex effects and strongly impact your playstyle. Well, isn't that swell? But anyway, so that's happening. Hold on, let me scroll down here. Okay. Even with the addition of a new tier of items, our goal isn't to inflate the power level of items overall. They actually nerfed crit because of this, which I'll get into later. Mythics make your first choice more powerful than in the past, but we're borrowing that strength from other item tiers to help keep build strength relatively similar on the whole. Mythic items are unique and you can only own one at a time. That's my other question. What happens if you can sell a mythic for another mythic? Can you do that? I'm curious. Each mythic item has a passive that grants your legendary items bonus stats. That's what I said before. Mythic item icons are animated. Oh, isn't that nice? Gale Force. Okay, so now we're going straight into them. So let me describe all these. How long is this page? Oh my god, I just looked at the side scroll. Okay, so Gale Force. Let's go over the items. This is for AD. Gale Force gives marksman champions a way to dodge high-impact skill shots or aggressively finish off low-health targets. So, this is a 3,400 gold item, so similar in price, I think, if not exactly in price with IE. It is actually priced with IE. So, same cost as IE. I don't know what the fuck it's building out of. Like, I don't know what Noon Quiver is, but whatever. It gives 55 AD, which is pretty low, 20 attack speed, which is decent, and 20 crit, which is decent. So a big exclaimer, they nerfed crit here. You're going to get less crit from items usually, and crit isn't doing as much damage. But they said that's because a lot more stats are uploaded up front. But we'll see if that's true. So effects. This is basically you get a dash, you fire 3 shots at an enemy when you dash, and it deals damage. You're not buying this for the damage. It does do damage, but you're not buying it for the damage. You're buying it to be safe. Which is weird, because there's another item that keeps you safe. But you're buying Gale Force to just have a dodge, basically. That's all it is. Do I think there's a mythic that's worth that? On some characters, hell yeah. Like, maybe Kog'Maw you can make the argument for it. I wouldn't see it being bad on Kog'Maw. I personally wouldn't like to get it, but this might be an item you're forced to get in some games. And it depends on the matchup. At first, if you're in a heavy CC, grabbed bot lane, then maybe I could see it being picked up, but at that point, just get good. I feel like the problem with this item is the other mythics for ADs are just so much more useful than this. Because look at the mythic passive it gives you. It grants all other legendary items 3% move speed. I mean, if you're taking Fleet Footwork, or not Fleet Footwork, the stupid rune that gives you more move speed, I forgot what it's called, but whatever the fuck it is, on the blue tree. Maybe it's good. Maybe you'll have a lot of move speed. If you're immobile, that's great. But again, I just think the other ones are better. And if you're already a good AD, you could kind of play around not having mobility. But anyway, I think this is the weakest of the AD items. Next, the Kraken Slayer. Ah, yes, the Vayne passive item. So, Kraken Slayer allows a free-firing marksman, so this is great on attack speed carries, to cut even the beefiest enemies down to size. So, what is it? Same price as IE, as per usual. Same build as the other one. Gives you more damage, more attack speed, and the same crit. I think all these are going to give you 20 crit, but so far, this is the weakest in terms of stats. This is strong. Like, this is stronger than fucking Stupid Force over here. And the effects are every third basic attack deals 60 plus 30 bonus AD as true damage. Now, does this scale with Jhin? I don't... This is the whole thing I'm thinking of, right? And they changed Jhin massively. Well, not massively, but they gave him a really good slap on his ass for this thing, because crit's nerfed, so he needs to get better in some way. But would Jin's bonus AD count? I mean, obviously it's not great on him, but I'm trying to think, what mythic item would be good of the ones I know on Jhin? I don't know, but maybe we'll come back to that at the end. This item is super good. Jinx, obviously, will get it. Vayne might get it just to really shred people. Like, oh god, if you're a tank and Vayne has this, and it's Vayne, it's not looking too good. But anyway, really good item. I love it. And it grants more attack speed for every other legendary. This is probably one of my favorite mythic items in this whole thing. Not even because it's on ADs, but because it gives you everything you would want and it synergizes with itself. What do you want with this? Or who gets this item? High attack speed people. And what does it give? More attack speed. Great. Fucking great. Immortal Shield Bow. So this is the one I was talking about that I think is just kind of the better Gale Force, but not really. So Gale Force helps you not get caught out. This helps you survive burst. So if you are going to get caught out, which honestly the Gale Force has a cooldown, right? So eventually you will, if the enemy's smart. And at that point it's better to have this in my opinion. But anyway, same cost as IE. Okay, cool. Build path, same build. Oh no, it actually builds out of Vamps up there. Okay, cool. 50 AD, so this is the weakest one. 15 attack speed, definitely weaker. Crit chance 20, lifesteal 12. So this one is pretty decent still. Even with the lessened stats, I still think it's good because it gives lifesteal. When taking damage that would reduce you below 30% health, you basically get a PD shield and you get more lifesteal. But it's a 90-second cooldown, so it's basically PD, which is nice. It's PD with Hex Drinker passive. And then it grants all other legendary items 5 attack damage and 50 health. So it's getting you stronger, but it's getting you healthier, which is good. It's helping you survive burst, which is exactly what it's saying. Like I said, I think fucking this stupid shit, Gale Force, is the weakest one. I think this is the second strongest one. This is the strongest. Oh my god, what the hell? This is the strongest one. Kraken, whatever, is the strongest one. Kraken Slayer. I think those are all the AD items. Overall, I'm pretty happy with them. Like I said, just because I'm shitting on Gale Force, I still think it could be good in certain situations. But most often, ADs are either going to go this or this. I think Jhin honestly might get this one too, but we'll see. Sunfire Aegis. So now we're going to the tank stuff. Because this stuff is an AD, I'm hoping to not spend as much time on it because Just judging by the scroll wheel, we've barely made it past, I think, 15% of what's in this patch. So this might take a while, but let's keep going. So, Sunfire Aegis turns tanks into dangerous threats for enemies who take extended fights. That's good. I think Sunfire should feel like it actually does something instead of now where it feels like it does nothing, even though they buffed it. So the build path is what you'd expect. Health 450, decent. Armor 30, magic 30, and then ability haste. Oh my god, we have to go over ability haste. Fuck. So, along with the items that are changing this preseason, they're also changing how cooldown works. And to simplify this majorly, there's no cap on cooldown anymore. You can get as much cooldown as you want, but cooldown does not work as it used to. Previously, cooldown used to be percentage based, right? You go from 10, 20, 30, 40, and maybe 45 if you had the rune. But it was capped, and that's it. And it provided an actual just like percentage to your abilities. Very simple. Now, for some god knows reason, I guess balance, but they had to make cooldown really complicated. Now it's called ability haste. It's the same thing. But instead of being multiplicative, I believe it's additive. Or no, it is multiplicative now. Basically what this means, it scales the same way as armor and MR. The more you get, the less of an effect it has. It's uncapped, so you could get a lot of it, but it's going to take more and more the higher amount you have to really make a difference. But anyway, it gives ability haste. Cool. I don't know what 15 means. I don't know if that's good or bad. We're going to have to learn the new system. Now it has the effects of Immolate, which is the old effect. Deal 20 to 40 damage, plus 1% bonus health. So it does scale decently. Now Scion could definitely get this if he goes tank ever again. Not the stupid lethality build. To enemies, increased by 50% against minions and 200% against monsters. So it could actually be used in the jungle. Damaging enemy champions with this effect adds a stack, increasing subsequent Immolate damage by 12%. Oh! So 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, 72. So this will almost do almost double damage of if you have it fully stacked. That's actually really good. It scales and it gets increased for extended fights. That's super fucking good. A maximum Immolate stack. Your basic attacks burn nearby enemies for your Immolate damage per second for 3. That's great. Holy shit. Grants all other legendary items 5 ability haste. So you get this if you're a fucking tanky asshole who's staying on the enemy, aka I would assume Mundo. I really want to see this on Mundo. Especially the new Mundo. We should be getting that soon, probably at the start of next year, or next season. It gives cooldown, which is super good. You could stick on the enemy. Super good item. I love what they did. I think Aegis is a lot better. I'm excited for this. Frostfire Gauntlet. That doesn't make sense because it's frost and it's fire, but no one cares. Frostfire Gauntlet can now turn any tank into an inescapable behemoth. So this item is probably for if you want to just keep the enemy slowed. That's all I'm thinking. Balmy Cinder, Null Magic, Chain Vest, okay, it's 3,200. Obviously, they probably have to make the tank items a little cheaper, because why not? Health, 350. Armor, 50. That's pretty good. MR, 25. That's decent. Haste, okay. It has the Immolate passive, and it has Snowbind. Basic attacks create a slow zone for 1.5 seconds. It's on a 4-second cooldown, so you don't actually have to use an ability anymore, which is good. You only have to auto. Enemies that move across the zone are slowed by 30%, plus 4% per 1,000 max health. So you get an increasing slow that scales, good. And then it grants all other legendary items 100 health and increases your champion model by 7.5. Oh my god, so this is not if you want to fight. This is if you want to help your team and just be tankier. Aegis, Sunfire Aegis is if you want to fight. This is if you want to fuck. And I like this. This is not bad. Both of these are good. They obviously have their niches. But I'm more interested in this. But Frostfire Gauntlet isn't bad. And then what I'm assuming is the last one. Turbo Chem Tank. It looks like fucking Urgot in like a Nautilus suit. But anyway. For the tanks who love starting fights, I thought that would be the Gauntlet. But okay. Turbo Chem Tank allows them to lead the charge into battle. It's 3,200 health. Gives shit for armor. Gives a ton of magic resist and ability haste. Okay, cool. It has the Immolate passive, and it has Supercharged, which is the first active we've seen besides Gale Force, I think. It grants 75% move speed towards enemy champions or turrets Zero an enemy, or after 4 seconds, a shockwave is emit. Oh, it's just Righteous Glory. This is just Righteous Glory. And it gives tenacity. It basically helps you not get CC'd and starts fights, and it's Righteous Glory. Not bad, but probably the most underwhelming one, and I don't like this one. But obviously, it will have its uses. All the tank ones are pretty decent, same as the AD ones. I think I like the tank ones a little bit more, just playstyle-wise, but that's cool. So now we're moving on to the Assassins. Now, I actually know a little bit about Duskblade and what it does, and this thing that it says multi-kill is a little misleading, but I'm going to reserve my judgment because they might have changed it, and I don't want to look like a fool with my pants down. Anyway, with Duskblade, Assassins can keep their enemies guessing while wreaking invisible havoc in team fights. No, it's going to be pretty visible what they're doing. So total cost, pretty low. Serrated Dirk, Caulfield, and 1,000 gold. AD is 55, lethality is 18, that's pretty good, and haste is 20. Alright, so what's the effect? Attacking a champion deals 100 plus 30% bonus AD physical damage that slows them. It's on a 15-second cooldown, that's pretty big. A champion you have damage in the last 3 seconds dies, the cooldown is refreshed and you become invisible. Okay, never mind, I think they changed it. So, if you get a reset, it's basically really good. It's really good for just straight killing and killing and killing. And then you get a lot of cooldown with this, so it encourages spamming. Pretty good item. Most Assassins will probably use this, unless... I think they nerfed Eclipse, so most Assassins might probably use this. Anyway, pretty decent. Better than the Duskblade we have now, so it's just a buff, and pretty good. I don't know what else to say about it. Okay, Eclipse. This item was fucking broken. Everyone was building this shit on PB from what I saw. I'm assuming they nerfed it. Eclipse helps Assassins weave in and out of fights and take down tankier opponents in drawn-out encounters. So it's called the Dueling Mythic. So I don't know how it's in and out of fights if you're dueling. Dueling is more like, you keep fighting, I'm assuming. Actually, no. Dueling is you fight, then you stop, then you fight, then you stop often. Never mind. So it has lifesteal because it builds out a Vampiric Scepter. But it actually gives you a stat that we haven't seen for, I think, ever, actually. We've seen Spell Vamp. We've never seen Omni Vamp. Omnivamp basically means anything you have will heal you by 10%. Anything you do. AP, AD, you get healed. 10%. Pretty good. So what are the effects? Ever-Rising Moon. Hitting a champion with 2 separate basic attacks or abilities within 1.5 seconds deals an additional 8% max health physical damage, grants you move speed, and gives you a shield for 2 seconds. 6-second cooldown for melees. 12-second cooldown for ranged. This is actually crazy. I feel like this is going to make dueling champions insane. Like, I imagine Fiora getting this, right? Fiora gets this, goes in, Qs you, autos you, or does anything to you else after that. Gets a shield, gets move speed from not only this item, but from her passive if she procs it, and then just runs away. And you've lost 8% of your max health. That's crazy. This item is crazy fucking good. And it was so broken that everyone won it because you would just win every exchange and then eventually just kill them. But hopefully it's in a decent spot, but this might be the best assassin item. Or item in general for most people. And it gives Armor Pen, which is pretty good. I don't know why you would need Armor Pen, but cool. Prowler's Claw, another assassin item. So, what does it do? Prowler, it's for assassination, it says, but let's see. I would assume that Duskblade was for assassination. With your prey, amplifying their damage for 1 fatal combo. Okay, cost the same. Decent build. AD is 55. Lethality is 21. So they really want you to kill squishies with this. Ability haste is 10. What's the active? Dash through target enemy, dealing 100 plus 30% physical damage. For the next 3 seconds, you deal 50% increased damage to the target. 60-second cooldown. And then it grants lethality. Did the other one grant lethality? Armor Pen? Haste. Okay, so this is literally just squishy kill. Like, you get this item if you just want to kill the AD, which might be hard if they build the fucking lifesteal item, but who knows. Honestly, looking at it now, this might be the weakest one. I don't like this one at all, honestly. It has a 60-second cooldown, right? So, obviously it's to pick out one person. But it does 100 plus 30% AD, right? How much does Duskblade do? 100 plus 30% AD. Now, it makes you do 50% increased damage to the target, but if you were going to assassinate them, the 15% I don't think would help that much. I mean, it's something, but it's a long-ass cooldown. And then look at the cooldown of Duskblade. The cooldown of Duskblade is 15 seconds. So you'll proc Duskblade 4 times by the time this is up again. Is the 15% damage worth the 60-second cooldown? I would say not. I would say this should have a 45-second cooldown. Then it would be decent. But as it is now, I think this is the shittiest fucking item. And knowing my luck, I'm probably going to eat my words, and it's probably going to be good. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you're going to assassinate someone, it's going to do the job. But then it's going to be useless for the next 60 seconds, whereas Duskblade would just be better. In my mind, I would not see going this. I like... Unless it's close, like unless I'm fighting someone, and they're decently able to fight me back, and I need the extra edge I can get, which you shouldn't even be getting this item at that point because it's giving lethality. You should be using it to kill squishies. It's like, it doesn't make sense to me. Ironically, the other items that we've gone over that synergize with themselves, I feel like this one doesn't at all. But anyway, probably the weakest one. The other ones are pretty decent. Okay, so now we're going into the AP. Liandry's. I am a big fan of Liandry's. Like I said, I love Dot, and this is going to make Dot even better from what I'm assuming. So let's see what it's doing. Total cost, 2,400. Okay, cool. Builds out a Lost Chapter and Codex, so it's going to give cooldown. 80 AP. Okay. 600 mana, not bad. And ability haste 20. I don't know how much that is. So the part that's really important is the Torment passive, I guess. Dealing damage with abilities causes enemies to burn for 15 plus 2.5% AP. So it scales. Plus 1% of their max health magic damage. That's less than it was now. 4 seconds, but it scales. Gain 5% magic penetration per second against burning targets. Up to 25%. Yeah, it's pretty much anti-tank. I like it. I feel like on certain people, it doesn't matter if you're going against anti-tank or not. Some people are just going to want to get it, aka Brand, Malzahar, anyone with Dot really. But anti-tank helps, but it's really not going to matter for some characters. But it's still good. And then it grants haste. So this is probably going to be the one a decent amount of mages go. But let me not say anything before I see the others. Luden's Tempest. Wow, no more echo. I'm just going to fucking skip the stat reading. I don't think it matters that much. Let's just get into the effects. Damaging abilities deal an additional 100 plus 15% AP and 3 nearby enemies and grant you move speed for 2 seconds. Oh, so you don't have to stack it anymore. It's just on a cooldown. Grants all other legendary items 5 magic pen. Interesting. I thought the magic pen would be on this one, if anything. Which it kind of is, in a way, but... I still think Liandry's is better, but the move speed and the fact that you don't have to stack it anymore means it's just up more often. I would think, now I haven't done testing for this, but I would think having to stack Ludens now with, moving and casting abilities versus having it up every 10 seconds is just kind of like a straight buff. Because you'll just use it more often than you could have at all now, which is great. Ludens, definitely better than it was, but I still think it's outshined by Liandry's on certain people. This is probably what you're also going to build. Everfrost, this item, I know a little bit about it. It's like fucking stupid. This item is like the fucking assassin item. It's so dumb. With Everfrost, mages can control the battlefield and lock down their opponents in ice. This is for people who fucking, I guess, don't know how to play the game or just have no other item that's good on them. Ow. Excuse me. Bless me. Like, compared to what the other items give you, I feel like this is so useless. Aside from the Mythic passive, which grants you 15 AP. But let's read what it does. The active, it deals 100 plus 30% AP in a cone, slowing enemies by 65% for 1.5 seconds. Enemies at the center of the cone are rooted, and it's a 20-second cooldown. It's not that bad. I'm making it sound bad, but in terms of what else you'd want, it's pretty bad. Unless you're a setup mage, unless you're a mage, right? Who just has to land their skills and it's very hard to land, I wouldn't get this. I'm trying to think. Who would I rather get? Okay. Liandry's, you can make an argument some people wouldn't buy it. I agree with that. Luden's, why would anyone else buy this? Again, it gives AP. It gives a lot of AP with other items. But that's its only saving grace. I'm trying to think. Would you rather buy this on Lux than Luden's Tempest. Maybe, because you try to land the root. But Lux's whole thing is she needs to land the root. Would you rather buy this, or Everfrost, than Luden's Tempest on Syndra? No. Would you rather buy Everfrost on Talia? Yes, because you're trying to land the combo. So this is more for combo mages, actually. Let me not be too harsh. Let me just give benefit to the doubt to Riot. It might be good if you're a setup mage. But aside from that, this is, in my eyes, the weakest item. If it did not have this 15 ability power on all the legendaries, this item would be fucking ass. Ass. But I'm just going to say it's the weakest item. It's not bad. It's just pretty weak compared to what else there is. Alright. I don't know if this is a support item or we're still with the mid lane. I'm assuming this is still mid lane. Hextech Rocket Belt. I'm assuming this is just Proto Belt, right? Supersonic Active. Dash in a target direction, unleashing an arc of magic missiles. Okay. Then gain 75% move speed towards an enemy champion for 2 seconds. 4-second cooldown. And then you get Armor Pen with this. Okay. Remember how I said I don't know who would go this unless you're like a setup mage? I don't know who would really go this at all. Who the fuck? Maybe Vlad? No, probably Vlad. Vlad would go this. But Vlad should go fucking this shit. Fucking Liandry's. Oh, but it gives mana. Vlad doesn't use mana. Does this give mana too? Luden's Tempest? Oh no, it gives mana. Okay. Does this give mana? It doesn't. Okay, yeah, Vlad's probably going this. I feel like this item's only for Vladimir, honestly. Vladimir, Kennen, basically the engagers, but they're not always in mid lane. Like, Vladimir could go top, Kennen goes top, can go mid, but this is just for engage mages. The other is for, like, setup combo mages. This is for engage mages. So, I changed my opinion. These two items are just niche items. Most of the time, we're going to see people either going Luden's or Liandry's, and then if you're a niche person, you go Rocket Belt, Everfrost, and they're decent. Any item I feel like we're going to see that's based off an old item is just going to be new and better. So, I'm expecting that now. Riftmaker. What is this? Mages and tankier magic damage dealers can dominate fights. Excuse me. So long. And heal. Okay. So this gives 15% Omni Vamp. It's basically Vel'Koz's fucking eye, it looks like. Void Corruption. For each second in champion combat, deal 3% bonus damage. This might actually be really good for Vladimir. A maximum strength, the bonus damage is dealt as true damage. So it's basically for, I would say, Silas. This is the Silas item. Silas is going to build this. Grants all other legendary items 5% magic pen. Yeah, this is either for Silas. Vlad could probably go this. But it's just for anyone who could just sustain in the fight and does magic damage. And needs to heal. Honestly, I could see Vlad going this too. He'll just heal out the wazoo. Which makes this even less appealing. But, yeah, this is literally only for engage. Nothing else. Not mobility, engage. This is interesting. I like this item, though. This isn't bad. Okay, Night Harvester. I guess we're going back to Assassins, or I'm assuming this is top lane now, maybe? I'm confused. I don't even know anymore. But it's called Night Harvester. What does it do? It's for multi-kill. It's a great tool for magic damage dealing assassins and brooders who want to work their way through the entire enemy team, rather than taking out one target and then bouncing out of the fight. So this is supposed to encourage you to stay in the fight. What does it do? Gives health, ability, haste, Soul Rend. Damaging an enemy champion. Oh, I think this was the item that I thought was stupid. But let me see. I'm actually curious. Damaging an enemy champion deals however the fuck much damage. It doesn't really matter. And grants you 25% move speed for 1.5 seconds. Oh, never mind. Okay, it's a 60% cooldown per enemy. I see Singed getting this, honestly. Like, Singed is going to go so fast with this shit. I don't see any other item so far being that great on Singed, aside from this, ironically enough. It gives you ability haste, too. This one's weird. I mean, I can't see this being good on anyone but Singed, I think. And it has to do with damaging, so Singed has to go up to him and him with the gas, but... I don't know. This also seems pretty weak. Okay, we're definitely in top lane now. Trinity Force. I kind of know what Trinity Force does, and this shit is fucking nice. Like I said, any old item that's returning is going to be like just straight better. It's going to be just straight better, and I fucking love it. Anyway, Trinity Force allows fighters to take over long fights with rampaging attacks and repeated bursts of Spellblade procs. So basically the only thing different, right? It gives move speed if you auto, which we know. If the target dies, then I hope you get sped up. I actually don't know. Wait. Basic attacks grant 25% or 25 move speed, not percent. That would be crazy. 25 move speed for 3 seconds. If the target is champion, increase your base attack damage by 6%, stacking up to 5 times. So you get max 30%. That's really good because it's going to stack on itself. This is one of the few items, again, that stacks with itself and just helps itself work. It's really good. Spellblade. After using an ability, your next basic attack is enhanced to deal 200% base attack damage. And if you're attacking the enemy, your base damage is going up. So it really rewards extended fights, or decently extended fights. And then it grants all other legendary items 10% attack speed. This item is made for Jax. It's made for him. Who else is this made for? Not Nasus, really. Not really Nasus. But I guess he could go it, actually, if he's quote-unquote a bruiser. Garen, maybe. Garen, yeah. I could see Garen doing this still, actually. Darius, maybe, yeah. Yeah. No, Fiora's going to get the other dueling item, probably. But this isn't bad. This is really good on the people who already use Triforce and make good use out of it. The question is, would it be good on Ezreal? Probably. Probably. This is just a really good item. I like what they did with Triforce. Super good. Gore Drinker. Oh boy, Gore Drinker. Fighters can come back from the brink of death with a well-timed thirsting slash attack damage while injured. I feel like this is a top / jungle item at this point. Decent cost. Iron Spike Whip, Phage, and Kindle Gem. So it should give you the passive of when you attack, you move fast. Let's see if it does that. Well, it has an active. Thirsting slash active. Deal 110% of your attack damage to nearby enemies. Restore health equal to 10% of your attack damage plus 12% of your missing health for each champion hit. 15-second cooldown. Affected by ability Haste. So you could actually keep doing this. I don't know how this helps you survive burst. This kind of just helps you come back from burst. If you're if you're gonna die to the burst, this isn't gonna help you in any way. This is just gonna help you if the burst didn't kill you. I feel like that's kind of misleading what they're saying, but it's still a decent item because it scales and it will heal you. I could see maybe Silas going this. Anyone who's hard to kill, who's semi-tanky, maybe Yorick. I could see other stuff on Yorick better, aka Triforce, but this might be an off pick for him. I could definitely see Rost going this. Rost is probably gonna love this item. Maybe not. I mean, this seems more like a lane item, honestly, not a jungle item, but this is, it pains me to say it. I think this is another weak item, and I don't want it to be weak because I like what it's trying to do, but I just don't know who would use it, especially compared to the other items. Again, I'm not the fucking big poobah of knowing everything in League. I know everything there is to know about ADCs, yeah. The other stuff I know decently well, but I'm making a guess at this point. I don't think this item's going to be good, but I'm almost positive I'm wrong because once the patch comes out and people decide what's good on their mains, we'll figure out where this item goes. But it looks weak to me. Moving on. Stridebreaker. This is Engage. Engage for who, though? Because we already have Engage items. There's no skipping a fighter wielding Stridebreaker. So this should be a top lane / jungle item. Gives health, AD, attack speed, ability haste. Okay, interesting. Halting slash. Lunge a short distance and deal 100% of your attack damage, slowing them by 60%. Dealing physical damage grants 30% move speed for 2 seconds. Okay. Grants all other legendary items 3% move speed. I could see Singed getting that. No, because it gives attack speed. Singed shouldn't get this. Maybe Fiora. I mean, the thing Engage is so misleading. I feel like it's not an Engage tool. Or it is. Okay, it is an Engage tool, right? Because it's engaging on the enemy. But typically when you think of when someone says engage, you're thinking, okay, you're CCing someone. This is not CC. I mean, it gives you a slow, but like, this is for fighters who want to quickly get on to you. So it's like, Fiora might get this. I mean, there's other better items, though. This is another weak item. I don't understand who would take this and why. Obviously, it's good. If you're looking at it on its own, it's a good item. But when you compare it to the other items that the top laners could get, why would you get this? Unless you're a setup person. But even then, I mean, why do you want attack speed? This is so weird. Like, it's giving you a lot of stuff that you wouldn't need or you wouldn't want. This is another weak item. I don't know. I can't see who uses this item, honestly, compared to everything else. And there's a cooldown on it, right? Yeah, it's a 20-second cooldown. It's like a poking thing. They should have renamed this Poke. I don't know why they renamed it to Engage. What the fuck is this? Weird-ass item. I think it's weak. Okay, Divine Sunderer. What the fuck is this? Your health, my health. This item allows fighters to steal chunks of their opponent's health with Spellblade and shoot through tank your targets. Interesting. Fade, Sheen, Kindle Gem, health 400, AD 40, Haste 20. After using an ability, you get a Spellblade proc that's enhanced with an additional 10% target max health. Oh, so this takes down tanks. If the target is a champion, restores 50% of the damage amount. 30% from rage. What? So you heal off this. This isn't... I mean, it is anti-tank, but it's anti-tank with healing. And then you get armor pen with this? What the fuck? Okay, this is a good item. This is what I'm talking about. This is fucking good. Damn. This is not bad. This is not bad at all. Who would go this item? People who could auto you very effectively. I could see GP going this item. GP could go this item because he could proc it off the barrels, heal for it, and do massive fucking damage. Or if you're going against the tank as another tank, I could see Kogoth maybe going this. I don't know. It's not as bad as the other items we just went over, but it's not as good as some of the items we already seen. But I would say it's like a middle tier item. I could see some people going this if they want to like try a different type of playstyle. More like, I guess if you're just up against heavy tanks and you're also a tank fighter and you want to live. And you want to kind of take them down faster. Middle of the road item. Not bad, not great. Definitely interesting. I like the idea. Pretty cool. Okay, now we're finally going to the supports. So, Shirelia's Battle Song. Shirelia's lets supports always players orchestrate flawless quintets by boosting allies' move speed and damage. And damage? What? Okay, so this item's pretty cheap. All the support items are going to be pretty cheap. They have to be. Ability Haste 20, move speed 5, mana regen. Cool. Okay, so the active grants you and nearby allies 40% decaying movement speed for 4 seconds. That's ass. And an additional 40 to 60 magic damage on the next 3 basic attacks or abilities. And it's a 90-second cooldown. And then it gets you more move speed. This item's pretty ass. I mean, it's decent, but I haven't seen the other mythics, so I gotta look at the other mythics first before I say anything. But so far, this looks like it's kind of gonna be ass. The little Nami bubble buff it gives you really seems like it's nothing. Like, it seems like it's actually useless. Like, okay, 40 to 60. It scales terribly. It has decent base damage early, barely, and then it scales like shit. It's so bad. It's so bad. Like, the 40% move speed would have been enough, and then they just added this little wee damage, which is nothing. But it's move speed, so I guess it's decent. Okay, Locket. Help your team withstand the enemy offensive and team-wide protection. I mean, honestly, they can't give it too much power because it's so cheap, but let's see. Devotion active. Grants nearby allies a big-ass shield decaying over 2.5 seconds, 90-second cooldown. I'd rather have this already than the fucking Shirelias, honestly. Grant nearby allied champions 5 armor and MR. This is way better than Shirelias already. Grants all nearby items a 2 armor and MR max increase to consecrate. This is the item to go. Unless you're just looking to hard engage shit, barely, because this is decaying move speed over 4 seconds. Like, this is so much better in my eyes. Locket is actually really fucking good now. Moonstone Renewer, I actually like this item. I know what this item does, and this kind of got me wet. Dish out constant heals that ramp up over the fight. So, basically, this item, it gives a shit ton of mana regen too. Jesus Christ. This item, when affecting enemy champions with basic attacks or abilities, you restore health to allies. That increases based on level, right? And it's to the most wounded nearby ally. That's good. So any support can have a heal now. Each second spent in combat with champions increases this healing by 37.5%, maximum 150, and it gives you cooldown. So, just for fighting, you're healing people. This is fucking great. I love this item. And what's the cooldown? 2 seconds. So if you're a poke support and you just want to heal your AD, you literally just take this. And then if your team is fighting and you're just sitting in the back, tossing shit out, you're going to be healing like so much. And imagine if you're already a healer. This works very well with Sona, I would imagine. Yuumi. Like, why would they ever get Shirelia's when this item exists? It's so much better. Shirelia's is so ass. This is great. I love this item. Excuse me. I could also see Ivern getting this item. But anyway. Imperial Mandate. Use your CC to call the shots as you mark enemies to be cut down by your team. Abilities that slow or immobilize a champion deal bonus damage, which is pretty decent. It doesn't scale, but it's decent. And mark them for 4 seconds. Allied champions damage detonates the mark, dealing an additional 60 to 100. Oh, wow. And granting you both 20% boost to a 2 second, 6-second cooldown per enemy, which all the legendary items 15 AP power. Okay, this item is for grab supports. This item is literally, okay, I'm Thresh, I hook them, I mark them, they take extra damage, my AD autos them, we both get fast and do more damage to them. This is a great item. This is one of, again, the good designed items in preseason that helps itself work. This is so fucking good. I like this item. And it's clear who it's going to be built on. People who don't really use, Moonstone Renewer because you want to be tanky. Locket of the Ancient. I could see an argument for taking Locket over this. This, I would say, is more for laning. This is more for team fight later on. And surviving burst. But this is if you want to kill. This is the kill item. This is the live item. This is the heal item. This is the ugly item that no one should buy. That's it. That's what this is. Holy shit. Okay, and they describe ability haste here. So let me do one thing before I get through this, because I have to take a quick break. I have to start rolling. Ooh. In my stupid little Discord bot game. Okay. I'm assuming I'm getting shit. Oh, wow, I got Caitlyn. I'll take Caitlyn. Nice. Okay, I got Caitlyn. Cool. So I don't have to worry about the bot for a good couple minutes now. Okay, ability haste. Why did the Mythic season above talk about ability haste? Rather than cooldown reduction, well, I explained why. Mythics are cooler, so we put them first for people with shorter attention spans. Thanks, Riot. Cooldown reduction was more valuable the more of it you got. Yes. Every percent reduced your cooldown by the same amount, say 1 second off a 100 second cooldown. That 1 second didn't change even as the cooldown shrank. Wait, what? Okay, this is going to be so complicated for my monkey mind. Let me read this. Every percent reduced your cooldown by the same amount. 1 second off a 100 second cooldown. That 1 second didn't change even as the cooldown shrank. Oh, I know what they mean. So the base cooldown always got affected. So everything you got cooldown-wise affected the item's cooldown base. So you getting 20% cooldown would affect the 100 seconds and give you... well, I mean, that's obvious. I don't know why they're bringing this up, but this is obvious. But I kind of get it. So, for that same 100 second cooldown, your 31st point of CDR took 1 second off the remaining 70 second cooldown, which is more than 1%. Oh, okay, that's what they mean. As such, CDR had to be capped at 40% to avoid getting out of control, locking out of a lot of items once you reach that cap. Every point of ability haste lets you cast 1% faster. On paper, that makes it look like it gets less valuable the more you have because your cooldown shrinks by less and less each time. It's actually the same amount of power. Well, that's what they're saying. I'm not smart enough to fucking comprehend this, but 50 ability haste lets you cast an extra half a spell during the original cooldown. The next 50 gets you to a full extra cast, so you cast it twice. If you get another 100, you get another whole cast, 200% faster. The linear scaling allows us to remove the cap so you can buy as much as you want. Okay, so let me think about this, right? So, just going off what they said. So, 100% means I can use it twice based on the original cooldown. 50 ability haste lets you cast an extra half a spell. The next 50 gets you a full extra cast. This is so weird. Let's just pretend we understand what this says and it's better for the game and it's cool and it's the same. Cool. Okay, Vamp Effects. I'm actually curious about this. I don't know what this says. The big change here is that lifesteal now counts physical damage dealt by on-hit effects. Oh. It's more understandable if we include the whole attack. The other note is that the additional physical vamp, which currently exists just on Sanguine Blade, so its sustain can apply to assassin abilities too. If you're curious whether that means we'll eventually bring back Spell Vamp, the answer is maybe. Oh my god. So lifesteal. Heal from player damage dealt by basics only. Oh no, never mind. Basics including on hits. Okay. Physical Vamp. Heal from physical damage dealt by basic attacks and abilities. Okay. Omni Vamp. Heal from all sources and types of damage. Cool. So lifesteal is just anything that is on your auto, you heal from. That's physical. Physical Vamp is anything, ability, and auto. Omni is everything. Okay, cool. Good to know. Okay, Crit Strike. Here's where we go into the big stuff with, what I want, which is ADs. Critical Strike. Reducing the value of each point of Critical Strike chance and offering less of it per item allows us to smooth out marksman's builds, scaling, and put more interesting and powerful unique effects on their items. Which there were unique effects. I wouldn't say they were that good, but they were unique, I guess. They'll be stronger early and mid game, and their late game damage will be less unilaterally based on constant crits, since the other parts of their items will be more influential. Also, by spreading crit across 5 items, read every non-boot slot, and marksman builds, we can put crit chance onto more items because marksmen no longer run the risk of overcapping and losing access to items they otherwise would have wanted. Okay, that's actually good. That is one thing that I've actually done on my patent pending Jinx build and some other characters, where it's like, there's crit items I want with certain people, but if I build too many crit items because I want the passives and the actives and stuff, well, mostly just passives for AD, but because I want all the passives, I actually end up over capping on crit on some of the builds, and this is alleviating that. We're obviously taking a hit to strength, but like Riot said, they're adding some stuff in the items to kind of compensate for that, and they're going to change some champions around. So I want to hold off a little bit on my judgments, but overall, I am a little sad to see crit get slightly weaker, but it still should be okay, because like Riot said, and I'm trusting them, we should have stuff that would still help us out. So hopefully it'll make ADs better again, and I think it will. But anyway, the main big hit that I don't like is this, right? Not that, it's this. 200% crit damage is down to 175 now. Now, there's a legendary item, aka IE, that changes this, but we'll definitely see. I want to reserve a lot of my judgments for now. Anyway, let's see. New legendary items. Legendary is the category of item that used to be most powerful tier. They are completed non-boot items that don't build into anything else. We addressed different items from class C, which niches were most needed. We also ensured that tools that were taken out of the item pool had good replacements. Since Liandry's is now a mythic, Demonic Embrace fills the niche for tankier champs who can't pick Liandry's every game, but still need a burn effect. This is the double burn I was talking about. Excuse me. Because Mercurial Scimitar is now geared more towards marksman champions, we created a new version for fighters and assassins. Grievous Wounds warrants a special callout. We want to give more people access to it in ways that feel appropriate. Okay, I don't know if I want to go over all these fucking items, but let's see. So we have the Collector, which is burst damage. The Collector offers marksman champions a more aggressive option for when they find themselves facing squishy foes. So if you're a marksman and you want to be an assassin, I'm assuming that's what this is. I'm not going to go over the base stats anymore. It's going to take too long. But anyway. Death and Taxes. Dealing damage that will leave an enemy below 5% health executes them. Champion kills grant an additional 25% gold. Or 25 gold, not 25%. This isn't really burst damage. This is execute. I don't know why it says burst damage. Does this matter? You have a 5% execute. Decently, yeah, I would say it does. If you're going against an enemy and they don't and you do, and you're decently close, it could spell the difference. I don't know when you would get this though, but probably second item maybe. I'm not too sure. I gotta see the items. Decent item, I don't know, it seems a little weak though. Navori Quick Blades, reduce cooldown. Navori Quick Blades allows crit heavy builds to scale their ability casting as well. Ability haste, okay. Your critical strikes or basic attacks reduce your non-ultimate ability cooldown by 20% of their remaining cooldown. Okay, so I can already see this being good on Lucian instantly. Excuse me. Great on Lucian. Did they reduce the cost of legendaries? No, they didn't. 34, 3,000. Okay. Yeah, this actually might be built decently because it's 3,000 gold. But Navori Quick Blade. So Ezreal, get this. Wait, no, Ezreal probably won't build crit. I don't know. I could honestly just see this on Lucian for now. Maybe Jinx. I mean, I don't know what the good crit items are anymore. See, this is the thing. I don't know everything yet. So let's see. Let's keep going. Decent item, though. Looks good. Force of Nature. Wow, they're bringing this shit back. Force of Nature helps turn tanks into swift behemoths in the face of ability casting heavy teams. Absorbs. Taking damage from abilities grants you 6 movement speed and 4 magic resist for 5 seconds. Ooh dear. Ooh dear. Ooh dear. Ooh dear. Ooh dear. Attacks up to 5 times. Each unique ability instance gives 1 stack. Singed Udyr. Singed Udyr. Easy. Easy item. Singed Udyr. Super good item. Serpent's Fang. Anti-healing. Serpent's Fang helps Assassin strike back against heavy shield. Basic attacks and abilities deal 50 plus 4 additional physical damage to shielded targets. Okay. Literally just anti-shield. Anyone could build this. That's AD. It gives lethality too. Fuck. Okay, so just assassins, actually. Decent assassin item. Horizon Focus. Damage Amp. What is this? Gives long-range artillery and control mages, so I'm assuming Xerath. Another damage alternative that loops into their playstyle. Wow, 100 AP. Damaging an enemy champion with a non-targeted ability at over 750 range or immobilizing them reveals them and increases their damage taken from you by 10% for 6 seconds. It's Xerath. It's literally Xerath. Cosmic Drive. What the fuck is that picture? Ability haste. If you want to deal death by 1,000 spells instead of one needlessly large burst and move fast while doing it, this is for you. Dealing damage with abilities grants 10%. Oh, wow. They added a phage for AP people. That's actually super fucking good. That's crazy. That's super good. Nice. Cosmic Drive is nice. Demonic Embrace. Sustain damage. A new home for those bruisers and battle mages that want to keep in the thick of things. Bulk up. Okay. So health, AP. Azakana Gaze. Dealing ability damage burns enemies from 1% of their max health. Okay, so this is kind of like old Liandry's. Gain 10 armor and magic resist while a champion is affected. Silas is building this. Yeah, okay, I like this item. Demonic Embrace. Cool. Azakana's Gaze. Yeah, so it's a new burn item. Cool. Cyrilda's Grudge. What is this? It caps off assassin builds, slowing enemies into their graves with the rest of their items, providing lethality to deal with carries early in mid-game. Grudge % penetration gives its users the means to threaten tanks in the late game as well. See, this is kind of the thing I don't understand. They want assassins to kill ADs, but now they want assassins to do something against tanks. That ideally or traditionally is the AD's role. I don't know why it's overlapping with them, but let's see what it does. Damaging abilities to slow enemies by 30% for 1 second. This really doesn't matter. How is this threatening tanks? Oh, it's giving armor percentage. Oh shit, armor pen. 30%. Holy shit, this is good. Wait, this is a good item. Holy fuck. It gives as much as Last Whisper used to. Wow, this is a decent item. At this point, why wouldn't you get it? This is like a late game item, I would say, though. A decently late game item. Again, I don't know the full items, but this seems like you would get it later on Assassins. Okay, Silvermere Dawn. That looks like Mordekaiser's old club. The CC cleansing option for fighters, Altair for Mercurial, which caters to crit. Okay, and then it removes all disables except Airborne. That's good to note. Gain 40% tenacity and sword for 3 seconds. Can't be used while affected by Airborne. That's fine. Okay, I guess you smack yourself with the hammer and get un-CC'd, but pretty cool. Pretty cool. Pretty good. Let me scroll down real quick to see what people are rolling in my chat. Okay, nonsense. Okay, cool. Big nonsense. Okay, anyway. So Silvermere Dawn. Not bad. Chempunk Chainsword. I like that item name. Grievous Wounds option for fighters and assassins that will help you finish off pesky healers. Okay, so Executioners is coming back. That's nice. Hackshorn. Dealing physical damage applies Grievous Wounds, and then if they're below 50 health, it's increased so they heal less. Okay, pretty simple item. Decent option for people, AD, health. Yeah, it literally tells you what it's for. It's for fighters and assassins. I agree. Pretty decent item. Chemtech Putrefier. I'm assuming this is for AP people. A Grievous Wounds option for support champions. Oh. Ability to power, ability haste, mana regen. Wow, okay. I mean, it makes sense, because now they have the fucking Moonstone healing every 2 seconds. They need to have anti-heal, too. Dealing magic damage applies Grievous Wounds, and then if they're immobilized, it applies 60%. Decent. Cool. Staff of Flowing Water. New item for enchanters that you support mage carries and zoom around alongside them. Healing or shelling ally grants you both 15% move speed and 20 to 40 ability power for 3 seconds. This can always be on. This is crazy. If you get Moonstone and you're a healer, let's just say you're not a healer, you could still have this always on. But if you're a healer and you get this too, you're always buffing the AD. This is actually insanely fucking good. Wow, this is crazy. This is super fucking good. My god, I'm so excited. That's good. Stirring Wardstone. Hold control words. Ever needed one or more pockets? We're taking a swing at solving the age-old inventory crunch. Oh my god, this was a huge thing I always said. The one thing I said Smite had over League of Legends was that they have a dedicated item slot for wards. And I didn't understand why, once you're full build, you can't ward. Like, if you're a support, right? You can't hold any pink wards after your full build. You only have the sweeper and the regular wards. You don't have pinks. It's like, what? Why can I not use it? This solves that problem. It's cheap. You have to be level 13, so it's for later. It doesn't have any base stats. What? Okay, whatever. Effects. The Sam can show up to 3 purchased control wards. Sam transforms into Watchful Wardstone once you've placed 20 stealth wards. That's actually interesting. Let's see what Watchful Wardstone is. It gives you just cooldown. Okay. The Sam can show up to 3 purchased control wards. Increase your stealth ward and control ward placement caps by 1. This is for pro play. This is crazy. This is going to be for high elo, high pro play, and LCS. Like, this is crazy. This is a super good item. It's actually insane. And it gives no stats, but people are going to fucking always buy this shit. That's actually insane. Vigilant Wardstone holds control words. Scale into the game by turning your Wardstone to a power slot. The 6-time fantasy is now a reality for supports. Really? Ah. Okay. Total cost is pretty cheap. Watchful Sightstone plus 1200. Wait, Watchful Sightstone? Wait. Do they mean Wardstone? Okay, who knows? So effects. The items can store up to 3 purchased control wards. Increase your stealth ward and control ward placement caps by 1. Whereas Watchful Wardstone upgraded from Stirring Wardstone. I think that's just a misspelling error, but who knows? That's good. That's really good. I'm actually glad it gives you items later on and you can buy it. That's actually insane. They're addressing so many things. I love it. Okay, updated legendary items. Just like with our goals for new legendaries, we want to ensure existing options all offer a clear, unique reason to buy them, and that the item shop as a whole gives champions the tools they need to bring their innate strengths to bear, play into their allies, and react to enemy threats. One trend you'll notice is that many active effects have been removed or changed into passives. Thank God! I don't want to think when I play, I just want to have passives. We want Mythics to house the most exciting complex item effects and actives, hopefully, which meant simplifying legendaries to ensure builds overall weren't becoming more complicated. Each item below that has its own section functionality has changed enough that the usual before-after treatment felt like the wrong approach. We want to equip you with the ability to evaluate when do I buy this item for now and provide a clean, comprehensive rundown of what each item offers. Doing that better, there's a bucket at the bottom for items that are only getting small tuning adjustments. So those will have the before-after. Okay, cool. Mortal Reminders. So, previously Mortal Reminders percent penetration usually meant that completing it early was worse than buying more damage, of course, since enemies needed to stack armor before penetration really had any effect. Now Mortal Reminders' more favorable build path and upgraded Grievous Wounds on completion offer additional incentive to complete it at all stages of the game. Interesting. It gives attack speed, crit chance, move speed, all great things, and then it obviously gives Grievous Wounds. Dealing 3 consecutive basic attacks to an enemy enhances this. That's actually great. Wow. Until the effect is allowed to elapse. Holy shit. That's super fucking good. I don't think just ADs are going to get this. I think a lot of people might get this. But anyway, cool. Okay, Jinsos. This I'm actually super fucking excited for. The old Jinsos, don't get me wrong. I wish we could go back to the days where the Ghost proc would always happen every 2 autos. But that was a little ridiculous. But they're changing something else on Jinsos I didn't think they would change. Let's get into it. It grants on-hit damage based on crit chance. You can't crit. And it no longer grants stacking attack speed, which is actually a little sad. And it no longer grants stacking attack damage, ability power, or penetration. So, it gives a lot of the stats up front, which is good because you don't have to stack them to get the full bonus. But, let's see what they say. I'm just going to keep going. On-hit builds didn't have many build options since so much of the attack-focused portion of the shop is focused on the crit system. Rather than continue to have on-hit and crit continue fighting for item niches, they decided to combine them. Jinso's Rageblade now acts as a bridge between the crit and on-hit. Yeah, no, you're gonna have to wait. The crit and on-hit ecosystems, allowing Kog'Maws to access effects like Phantom Dancer and Runans without wasting stats. Thank you, God. We have waited for this. Now, I remember this specifically. Kog'Maw would build items. My Kog'Maw build, which is the normal Kog'Maw build in my opinion, would build like Jinso's, no crit. Nashor's Tooth. Not Nashor's Tooth. Well, maybe Nashor's Tooth. Jinso's, Nashor's Tooth, Wit's End, Boots, and then maybe a defense item and Runans. You would get Runans just because it hit multiple people. You wouldn't even care about the crit, and that would be like kind of a lot of wasted stats. The only reason you wanted Runans was because it hit multiple people, gave you attack speed. The movement speed was nice, the crit was nice, but you didn't need it. If Runans didn't have the crit on it, Kog'Maw would still get it because it's so good for the passive. Now, building crit items actually helps because it scales you. Let's see how. Basic attacks apply 45 physical damage on hit, which is already what it is, per 20% crit strike chance, right? Now, this already gives you 20% crit strike chance. It gives you 40% attack speed. And I'm a little sad it doesn't give you, AD anymore. Or more attack speed scaling or AP. But that's fine. Or penetration, that's fine. It gives you on hit. And it gives you a lot of it now. And it still has the ghost proc. Now, you can no longer critically strike. But this means that if you have 40% crit. I mean, obviously you're trading away crit chance. But on-hit people didn't use it anyway. So Kog'Maw's gonna fucking be hitting for on-hit with his W max health damage a lot better. I mean, not the max health damage is the same, but the on-hit is gonna be so much greater. Think about this, right? 45% or 45 physical damage on hit. You would now get, if you build crit items, which you're going to, let's just say we get 100% crit. 45 times 5. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. So 200 and then 225 damage. So you're doing 225 damage on top of your auto attack, on top of the Kog'Maw max health damage on the W. And then it's proccing twice every third hit. That's actually crazy. I'm super excited to see Kog'Maw now. I want to see what he's going to do. I'm very interested in this. This is crazy. PD no longer has Lifeline, to be expected. Grants ghosting, movement speed, and bonus attack speed after consecutive hits. That's interesting. Phantom Dancer's defense niche has been claimed by Immortal Shield Bow. Yep. So we're returning PD to its previous purpose on the highest attack and movement speed of Zeal items. So now you're using it to kite, basically, which is what it always used to be. I loved it for that. Its new passive emphasizes that Phantom Dancer is a top-tier choice when you can stand and fire in extended fights, or if you know how to fucking kite. So it gives 40% attack speed. Huge, huge, huge. Anyone who's buying, not Immortal Shield Bow, but the anti-tank item is going to probably get this. Heck, even Kog'Maw's going to get this. Crit strike chance 7, move speed 7. Basic attacks grant ghosting, which allows you to move through units. And 7% move speed for 2 seconds. In addition, attacking 5 times causes Spectral Waltz to also grant 40% attack speed for the same duration. Wait, what? So you could double your attack speed to 80%. That's actually crazy. This is crazy. Kog'Maw's going to build this item to not only stick on you, but to just gun you. If you're not going to get gunned in the first, 5 autos, you're definitely going to get gunned after. And Kog'Maw's going to probably build Kraken Slayer, or whatever the fuck it's called, and then get more attack speed, and do true damage every third auto, and double proc every third auto. Oh my god. I'm gonna come. This is crazy. Lord Doms now has critical strike. Oh, I never thought I'd see this day. Deals additional damage against high health targets. They brought it back. They brought the passive back. Oh. Lord Dominic's regards and OG Last Whisper from years ago have always occupied the same anti-tank niche, but has also flip-flopped between marksmen and assassins. Always stronger for one class than the other. Situational items like this should now feel rewarding for purchase when the occasion arises, meaning their stats need to be appropriately powerful for the class they're meant for. So Lord Dominic's regards has acquired some crit as bounce from marksman alone. Yes! 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 This is what we wanted! It's cheap too! It's 2,900! It gives attack damage, decent amount, not that much, crit, and armor pen. And it does more damage if they have more health. Holy shit, this is so good! This is great! Oh my god, this is so good. Essence Reaver now builds out of Sheen and has a split. What the fuck? The ability weaving pattern of Sheen has always been fun and popular on some marksman champions. Ezreal's going to build this now. But Trinity Force frequently falls below the viability bar for those champions since it was balanced for fighters. Enter Essence Reaver. Which has been revamped for a double down on the fantasy of spell slinging basic attackers. Does it still give you mana? I'm confused. Crit chance 20, ability haste 20. After using an ability, your next basic attack does an additional 100%. Wait, what? Wait, what? Bonus AD physical damage and restores 3% mana. Ezreal might build this. I don't understand. Fuck. If only Ezreal's Q could crit, man. Honestly, wait. Ezreal might build Jinso's, actually. He could proc the on hit with his Q. I'm curious to see that now. But anyway, Essence Reaver. Interesting. You're gonna have to waste mana to gain mana though, but now it's a Spellblade proc. Interesting. We'll have to see this one. I'm a little curious about this one. IE. Okay, this is the big one. Infinity Edge is an iconic and valuable part of the marksman ecosystem. It's literally the marksman item. But buying it first, most every game left little room for anything else to compete. We've revisioned Infinity Edge in a Deathcap-esque form that increases its value as a crit build progresses. So, same way you wouldn't build Deathcap first. I mean, you could, but it's better to build other items because they're actives and passives. I'm thinking that's what they're doing to IE. Allowing it to remain a stable power spike in crit builds without defining the marksman early game with its awkward building path and lack of utility. That's good. So total cost 3,400, same shit, same exact build, same damage, less crit, but now gain an additional 8% critical strike damage per 20% crit chance, so max 40%. So how do I describe this? So basically, your crit chance before was 200 base. Once you got IE, it went to 225. Now the crit chance is 175, but you can increase it to 185, 195, 205, 215. So just 10% less than the old crits used to do. But you need to have crit chance to get it. So actually, I think this is one of the smartest decisions they've ever made. They made IE able to scale and scale well. Now, obviously, they nerfed crit because everything is beefing up. So I actually agree with their decision now to nerf crit. I understand why they did it. And not just the crit chance, the crit damage. I understand that. And now you could almost get to that point. And it's a much healthier way for the game, and especially early game. It was so boring as an ADC. I mean, it was easy, don't get me wrong. I love just thinking, okay, what do I build first? IE. You can never go wrong building IE first, unless you're Draven. And even then, it's not bad. But it was boring. It wasn't good for the game. It was boring. And it made other options really rare. Like the option where you build Mana Moon first was so much better because it was so much cheaper and it scaled. Infinity Edge now scales, but you have to get a layer. It's literally just AD death cap that gives you more damage. This is super fucking good. I don't know how this would synergize with on-hit builds. I don't think this would. I don't think you would get this in on-hit builds, but I'm not sure if it affects it in any way. But we'll see. Mana Moon. Let's see what they're doing to Mana Moon. Now provides ability haste to be expected. Spending mana without hitting a champion no longer grants a stack. What? Mana per stack and transform threshold reduced. Okay. Whew. Mana Moon should be a valuable purchase for AD spellcasters who enjoy mana as well as AD. Ability haste in addition to the mirror mana changes should broaden the list of champions who can use this item. I mean, honestly, just stating from the perspective of where we are now, I feel like a lot more champions right now are able to use Mana Moon in its current state than ever before. We have, obviously, I think Senna uses it. Twitch is using it. Ezreal always used it. I forgot who else, but it's not that many people who use it, but a lot more than it used to be. It used to honestly just be Ezreal. Maybe Lucian. Lucian can still build it, honestly. But it's more now with Twitch. So what are they doing? It's still pretty cheap. It's still Tear the Goddess, all the same build path, okay? AD is 35, mana is 400, ability is 15. Gain bonus AD equal to 2% maximum mana, same shit. Strike a target with an attack or ability to consume a charge and gain 3 bonus mana. Okay, so they fucked up the space there. I'm noticing this shit. That's the second mistake they've had. Pretty good, though, for how long this is being. So you actually don't need to waste abilities to do this now, which is really, really good. No, pa. No. Andoxy. So now you basically get the Mirror Mana, or not Mirror Mana. Oh no, it was always on Mana Moon. What am I saying? I'm being stupid. So, yeah, Mana Moon is the exact same. Bonus mana gained doubled if the target is a champion. Okay, but you actually have to hit something now. So, but it's a lot less. So it's 450 bonus mana has been granted. Gain a new mana charge every 8 seconds. Max 4. Interesting. So this should make it so Mana Moon's ready a lot sooner, but you have to stack it in lane now. I'm alright with this. This is okay. Mirror Mana. Bonus damage now applies to abilities in addition to attacks. No longer consumes mana on proc. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's fucking crazy. Following the Mana Moon changes, allowing Mirror Mana to proc on abilities further encourages the AD cast to consider a new addition. Oh my god. Removing the mana consumption increases clarity and lets the users focus more on letting their spells fly. Okay, so it gives 35, 850, 15, 2% maximum mana. So it's actually worse in terms of awe. The awe passive got nerfed. I think this used to be upgraded. At least for the AP one. For Archangels, it definitely was, but let's see. When attacking champions, ability and strikes deal damage, physical damage equal to 4% maximum mana. It used to be current mana. Now that's maximum mana. This is actually crazy. Wow. I'm very curious to see how this works. This is a straight buff. Huge buff to Mirror Mana. This is great. Holy shit. Archangels. AP per mana increase no longer grants ability, haste, or mana refund on cast. Damn. Spending mana without hitting a champion. Okay, same shit. Mana per stack and transform threshold reduced. Okay. The previous version of Seros offered a power scaling option both offensively and defensively with its shield. We're shifting the Archangels line to be purely offensive, greedy option by focusing on its slacking. Another mistake there, I think. That's supposed to say stacking. Stacking mana and AP fantasy. So that's the third mistake. Total cost 3,000, still decently cheap. Same build path, relatively mana. Gain bonus ability power equal to 3% mana. Okay. Strike a target with the ability to consume a charge and gain 3. Okay, cool. Alright, same shit. Seros Embrace. AP per mana increased. Now grants mana per AP. No longer grants ability, haste, or mana refund on cast. That's fine. No longer grants a shield. I'm alright with that. I didn't like the active anyway. Seros now gives purely offensive stats as a scaling item for mages, instead of an on-demand shield, which allows Seros to provide both offensive and defensive options, which no one cared about. Seros now gives more scaling AP and mana. Total cost, upgraded Archangel Staff. That's fine. Ability power 60. Yep, okay, so the awe is still upgraded for Seros. That's pretty good. I believe it was 6% or 5%. Don't quote me on that, but this is fine. This is fine what it's at. And then Empyrean. I love the name. Increase your total mana by 5%. Plus 2.5 per 100% ability power. Damn, that's super good. This is really good. Holy shit. Does it still have the awe passive though? Yeah, it does. Okay. Wow, this is really good. I'm excited for that. That's super good. Lich Bane. Oh my god, the fucking icon is beautiful. Spellblade damage and cooldown increased. Interesting. No longer grants mana or ability haste, so this is just a nerf. By removing the mana from Machine and also giving it higher upfront damage at the cost of slightly increased cooldown. So it's going to hit harder, and more people can build it. After using an ability, your next basic attack is enhanced with an additional 150% base AD plus 60 ability power, magic damage, 2.5 second cooldown. Okay, so it's just better in my opinion. This is fine. Blade of the Ruined King. Let's see this. Hopefully it's not shit on ranged people now. But I think they're really going to push this towards melees, but let's see what they're doing. Want to retain this iconic and unique active effect, but need to make some room for the other actives and more compliant effects coming from Mythic Items. So what are they doing? Total cost, 2,100. Still pretty expensive. Same build path. AD damage is the same. Attack speed is decent. Lifesteal is the same, basically. It's the same item. Okay, Mist Edge. Basic attacks apply physical damage equal to 10%, 6% for range of the target's current health. Okay, same shit. Basic attacking a champion 3 times deals... Oh. This isn't bad. They took away the active, but they kind of made it a passive. Because you're still stealing movement speed, and now you're getting like a little damage proc too. Every 3... They're making a lot of shit do stuff after 3 autos. This is actually kind of crazy. I think Blade is super good now. You might not get to 100% crit on people because there's so many other items that don't give crit that are good, I think. Or not a lot, but this item is definitely one of them. Holy shit, this is great. This is crazy. Okay, Black Cleaver. Now deals missing health damage against fully stacked targets. What? No longer grants move speed on a hit. No! Black Cleaver did many things decently well, but we wanted to do fewer things better. Moved its movement speed damage going effects to more movement-based items. That's fine. And replaced with an execution effect on targets you fully shredded. Honestly, that makes sense. I don't know how the fucking axe gives you move speed, but it should kill, which is, you know, what it does. Let's see what they're doing. Dealing physical damage to a champion applies a stack of 4% armor reduction, stacking up to 6 times. So that's the same. Damaging attacks and abilities against fully shredded enemies deal an additional 5% of the target's missing health and physical damage. Damage over time effects deal 2% missing health instead. 0.5 second cooldown. That's crazy. This is interesting. Garen's hopefully going to get this time. That's super fucking good. Black Cleaver and fucking Triforce, sign me up. Yo, I'm excited. See, this is what I'm talking about, League. Come on. Give me more shit like this. This is so exciting. Ravenous Hydra. Cleave now also procs abilities for and ranged basic attacks. What? Wait, so you could build this on ranged people now? Now grants Omnivamp instead of lifesteal, no longer grants health regen, active, removed. Yes! Okay, active, rehomed, and Gore Drinker. That's fine. A fighter mythic with room for effect that created power of Hydra is amplified to be the vamp item for physical damage casters or basic attackers. So base stats. Pretty expensive. Tiamat's still here. Great. AD 65. Ability haste. Omnivamp 15. Basic attacks and abilities deal up to 6% of your attack damage to others near the target. And abilities? What? Damage scales down with the distance from the target only once per ability. Wow. Okay, that's exciting. Titanic. Now grants AD based on health. I thought it always did that. Oh no, it just modified your auto. Never mind. Cleave now also procs the distributor, no longer grants health regen, active, removed. It's basically the same thing. Holy shit. Some power taken out down here, removed for AD to give it champions don't attack, but like AD. Gain bonus attack damage equal to 1% of your max health. That's good. Basic attack still additional physical damage equal to 4 opposed to your max health to the target and 4% to enemies behind the target. I could see Cho'Gath getting this Cho'Gath Scion easily. Holy shit. This is... I'm actually excited. Wit's End. Okay, what are they doing to my baby? Now grants movement speed on hit instead of healing. Okay, let me read. With a few more healing options in the mythic space, that is true. There's a lot more healing. We had to be judicious with the other sources of healing replaced with movement speed to offer light fighters Fiora, Yi, Echo, another powerful form of utility, with more AD to broaden appeal among fighters. So it gives AD now? And the magic resist still? Okay, never mind. This is good. So it still gives a shit ton of attack speed and AD and MR, and now it still applies the damage. That scales. And it gives move speed. That's actually crazy. Kog'Maw's going to be zooming. Whew. Maw of Malmortius. Lifeline shield increased. Bonus stat on proc removed. On taking magic damage that will reduce healing, you gain a magic damage shield for 5 seconds. But you don't get the stats anymore because that's on the mythic item. Okay, that's cool. Cool. Death Stance. Okay, I'm assuming this is getting nerfed. Omnivamp replaced with Bleed... Wait, what? Replaced with Bleed Cleanse. Movement speed and heal on takedown. Magic damage no longer reduced and converted to bleed. Huh? Death Stance was the one-stop shop for everything fighters needed. AoE healing, mitigation against all damage sources, bonus damage cooldown, etc. We still offer these effects in the item shop, but the combination requires piecing together a few more item purchases. Death Stance is sharpening its role in the anti-physical damage item. Okay, so what does it do? So ignore pain, 35% for melee, 50% for ranged. A physical damage taken is dealt to you over 3 seconds, okay. And then Defy. Champion takedowns cleanse ignore pain's remaining damage, so it's great for melees, actually. Grant you 30% move speed for 2 seconds and restore 10% of your max health over the duration. I mean, it's okay. It's pretty good. It's not as busted as the old one, which for good reason, but I'm alright with this. This is fine. Stark's Gauge. Base shield decrease but now scales with number of enemies in combat. That's good. Now grants healing based on enemies in combat. That's super good. Wait, what? Wait, healing? What? Tenacity removed, no longer melee only. What? Stark's is still your go-to for optimal purchase for constant team fighting. Jax is probably going to get this. If you're dueling or in a small skirmish, though, Death Stance or Maw will outshine it against physical damage. Okay. So what does it give? It just gives health and AD. Dealing damage or taking damage from a champion grants a stack restoring 2% of your max health over 6 seconds. Mundo's getting this. Max 5 stacks. 1 per enemy champion. Healing 6% effective for ranged users. Upon taking damage that will reduce your health, you gain a shield. So this actually heals you if you deal or take damage from a champion. Wow. Wow, this is interesting. That's good. Randuin's Omen. Active now reduce... Oh, so it still has the active. Okay. And crit damage. Oh my god. Now passively reduces damage taken from any basic attack, not just crits, and no longer reduces enemy attack speed 1 hit. Okay. So they're adjusting the power of Randuin's, which is fine by me. Okay. Crit-based attacks. So it's pretty cheap. Similar build path. Health is whatever. Armor is pretty good. Ability haste is alright. Briefly slows enemies and reduces their attack damage by 10% and critical strike damage by 20 for 4 seconds. Reducing income damage from basic class by up to 0.5 Your maximum health capped at 40% of the attack damage. Oh. Okay, so I could see big-ass tanks like Cho'Gath Scion getting this. Maybe Garen if you're against a heavy crit team, but again, it's just... Seems like there's going to be one crit user, which is the AD. But even then, pretty good. Frozen Heart. Now passive reduces damage taken from basic attacks. What? Frozen Heart takes the same core effect but retains its previous niche as an anti-attack speed item. So it reduces the attack speed and now reduces incoming damage from basic attacks up to... Okay, so same shit. Okay, so it's just Frozen Heart but buffed. It's still good. Frozen Heart's still good. Still get mana, right? Yeah, you do. Okay, cool. Interesting. I'm trying to think, what would the optimal build on Nasus be now? Gargoyle Stoneplate, which is basically just fucking... Someone killed Galio and took his, like, innards and hollowed them. Reinforcing Gargoyle Stoneplate is the ideal item for players who love to teamfight and tank entire teams. Active converted to a decaying shield. Passive grants resistances on taking damage. So you gain a 100 plus 100% bonus health shield that gives over 2.5 seconds. That seems like ass. Taking damage to a champion gives 3% bonus armor and MR for 6 seconds. Once per enemy champion, max 15%. This item seems worse, but whatever. Abyssal Mask. Passive change to increase damage on immobilized enemies. Interesting. Mobilizing a champion causes them to take 10% increased damage for 4 seconds. So it's not just magic damage now, it's all damage. Any tank CC top laner is going to take this now. Especially Ornn, but any CC champion. I think Cho'Gath should take this. Again, Scion, Cho'Gath, Ornn, easily. Pretty good item now. Actually helps the entire team, not just APs. Really good. Thornmail. Reduces damage now, applies improved grievous wounds upon immobilizing an enemy. So, it's literally just Thornmail, but a little better if they're CC'd. Cool. Zeke's Convergence. Now grants bonus on-hit damage to your linked ally on targets you have immobilized. So it's literally just Zeke's, just better if they're CC'd. Nice. So this is going to scale extremely well with on-hit builds too, with Jinso's. Knight's Vow. Damage redirect increased. Oh, now grants move speed towards low health partners. Okay, no longer grants armor. Interesting. Passive movement speed towards partner or heals from partner damage. Wait, what? Moving Knight's Vow into the Warden niche by increasing the health and damage redirection on the item. A sharper movement speed buff. Effects should help allies swoop in to save the day for their allies in peril. Designate an ally who is worthy. 60-second cooldown. While worthy allies nearby, redirect 15% of the damage you take, and if they have less than 50% health, gain 35% move speed when moving towards them. Wait, did they remove the heal? Oh yeah, they did. No longer grants armor, passive move speed towards partner, or heals from partner damage. Okay, so surely you just take their damage for them, and they don't heal you. That's actually worse. I think this item is one of the few legendaries that is just worse overall. But not bad. MERRILLS! Damn, they changed the picture. It sucks that Morello left Riot, man. Okay. Now grants access to improved grievous wounds, no longer grants magic pen. Okay. 70 AP, 250 health. The much damage grievous wounds targets below 50 health. Okay, so we're getting into the boring shit now. Sanguine. I really don't want to even read this item. I hate this item. But it's the last one of the new ones. We're promoting Sanguine's Blade lifesteal into the new physical vamp stat, so ability heavy assassins can benefit from life sustain as well as while they clear waves and champions. While near one or fewer visible enemy champions, gain 8 lethality and attack speed, decaying over 3 seconds while other champions get too close. But it gives physical vamp now. Okay, cool. It's basically the same, just gives physical vamp. Cool. Okay, legendary items balancing changes. This should be quick. I kind of want to go quick because I've been at this for almost 2 hours now. Okay. Fully upgraded support items count as legendaries. Good to know. Rapid Fire Cannon is getting more expensive, but getting buffed with attack speed. Storm Razor is getting cheaper, but getting nerfed with AD, buffed with attack speed. Okay, cool. Decently good still. Mikhail Scimitar has no lifesteal, but now gains crit, and removes all disables except airborne, just like the other items. Cool. Has less magic resist and less AD, but the critical strike is probably what sets it off. Okay. Runons. Let's see Runons. Runons actually gives damage now. Excuse me. That's actually insane. Runons gives damage, but it's way more expensive. It gives less crit chance, obviously. The move speed went slightly down. And the bolt damage is actually scaling? Oh my god. Runan's is actually super fucking good now. Holy shit. Jinx is gonna hurt. Jinx is actually gonna hurt like a truck. That's super good. Rylai's more expensive. More health, better slow. That's great. Holy shit. Rylai's is very nicely buffed with that. Nashor's Tooth. New icon too, very nice. Ability power went up. Attack speed 50%, that's good. Doesn't give cooldown anymore, but that's fine. And then the on hit is scaling better. That's crazy. So Nashor's Tooth, straight buff. BT. Oh, let's see what they did to BT. BT is cheaper, has a different build path, gives less damage, but now gives crit. Nice. And it has a cool new icon. Edge of Night. Okay, same gold, different build path, less damage. So Edge of Night got nerfed. Cool. Youmuu's doesn't give cooldown anymore and got buffed damage-wise. And got more expensive. That's fine. Umbral Glaive, way more expensive. And now gives haste. Okay, cool. Guardian's Angel got nerfed. Yeah, just straight nerfed. Okay, cool. Warmogs costs more, slightly. Oh, wait, no, not slightly at all, actually. Ability haste, and now you regen 5%. So they doubled the passive. That's super good for Warmogs. Really good. Spirit Visage is more expensive, gives less magic resist, but lowers the I mean, there's a lot more healing in the game, so this makes sense, I guess, but they nerfed Spirit Visage kind of hard, actually. Deadman's gold's the same, health is up, which is good, armor is down, which is not that good, and that gives a little bit of move speed, that's fine. Ardent Sensor, longer gives cooldown, no longer gives move speed, gives you more mana regen, and has everything else the same. That's really good. Ardent should be a main buy. Redemption, base health regen is down, heal shield power is up, base mana regen is down, and longer damages minions or gets 3 times effectiveness from heal and shield power. Okay, that's pretty good. Mikhail's Blessing. Oh, they changed the name from Mikhail's Crucible. Okay, cool. The total cost is up. The magic resist is up, which is good. Ability haste is actually more than it gave cooldown, it looks like. Concentrated Quicksilver. Removes all crowd control debuffs except airborne and suppression from an ally champion. And restores health. Thank you, God. That's so good. No longer grants bonus health regen equal to magic regen. That's fine. Mikhail's is a lot better. I like Mikhail's a lot more now. Magi's Soul Stealer. A little bit more expensive. Doesn't give mana, but now gives health. I actually like that stat a lot better. Magi's is actually better now. Zanya's is less. Gives less AP, but I'm fine with that. And gives ability haste. That's good. Banshee's is less. Ability power is less. Magic resist is less. So Banshee's just got nerfed overall, but that's fine. Jungle item changes. Oh, okay, I need to fucking take a piss. Jesus Christ, this is going on for so long. I'll be right back. Oh, I gotta take my pee. Oh, God. Okay. Alright. Pee break is over. Holy fuck, it's hot in my room. Anyway, getting back to it. Oh god, how far? We're a little over halfway. We're like 65% through. Holy shit, this is a long patch notes. Oh my god. Jesus. Anyway, jungle changes. We want junglers to be able to engage with the item system instead of being forced to purchase. Okay, so basically what this means is they're giving the support treatment to junglers. We're taking cues from last year's well-received update to supports and giving it to the jungle. So, we snuck jungle cast changes. Okay, cool. So, Hellblade, the blue one. Omni-Vamp against monsters, 10%. Damaging monsters burns that. Okay, yeah, it's just the jungle item. And then Chilling Smite. This gives Chilling Smite. When Smite champions Chilling Smite. Okay, it's the same shit. Ember Knife, the red one. We're also cleaning up Challenging Smite to make it a bit more intuitive. So, basically same thing. They just combined the two jungle items into one, basically. The two starting jungle items into one. Challenging Smite. When smiting champions, Challenging Smite marks them for 4 seconds. There's time your damaging attacks and abilities deal bonus true damage to them over a time. Refreshing, but not stacking. And take 20% reduced damage. Oh, and you take 20% reduced damage from the smite enemy. That's really good. It's just a better way now. Or a better Challenging Smite now. Abilities now apply and refresh the burn alongside basics. That's super good. Because before it was only autos, I believe. Emulating smite damage reduction has VFX that displays the amount reduced as combat text. Nice. Okay, jungle camp adjustments. Overall, our aim is to improve path diversity. Okay, Gromp and Scuttle in particular are getting changed to emphasize their unique identities. In Skull's case, she'll also be a little less costly to lose, since you're not losing a chunk of sustain. So, what are they doing to Gromp? It has MR at all levels that are the same. Cool. The health of Gromp is lessened. Cool. Gromp's first 3 autos are no longer increased attack speed or damage, but it now restores... Wait, what? Oh, you heal from it. Oh, that's super good. And then it's slightly stronger early. Okay, cool. I'm just going to gloss over these because I'm not a fucking jungler. So, blue, same shit. Decently, a little stronger early, a little weaker late. Cool. It's higher move speed too. That's really nice. Greater Merkwolf, higher move speed. Same shit as the others. Okay, I'm just going to skip all these because honestly I don't really care. Lesser Krugs. Shine gold to properly reflect their gold and experience value. Okay, cool. Alright, Scuttler. So this is the big one. It has a lot less armor, a lot less MR, a little bit less health, but now it has a shield. But the shield breaks when it's CC'd. But now it no longer loses tank if it's CC'd or takes more damage. And it no longer restores health. That's on Gromp. Okay, cool. Epic items. Epic items are a tier below legendary. They are mid-tier components of legendary and mythic items that build out of basic items. We're ensuring that they serve their role as valuable building blocks, offering incremental stats and effects that smooth your progression towards bigger purchases. Like the legendaries, we're providing blank slate presentations. Okay, so they're doing the same fucking thing. I don't need to read that. Okay. Noon Quiver. Why wouldn't they name it Moon? Why'd they name it Noon? Okay, marksman champions suffer from awkward early game components that leave them missing either attack damage or attack speed, both of which are critical for them to feel powerful. So we created Noon Quiver, an epic that specifically builds into marksman mythics and features both stats. Okay. Really? So is this like a starting item? Or no, they said this builds out of base items. So what does this do? It avoids the lane stumbling issue BF Sword had if you were forced to back before saving up 1300. So it's still 1300. It has 30 AD and 15% attack speed. Attacks deal an additional 20 physical damage to minions and monsters. Oh. Okay, cool. I don't understand this part, though. Noon Quiver also amplifies marksman PV. Okay. Lastly, by giving it a smooth build path of... Oh! So it's like a BF sword you could build into that helps you with clearing early. Okay, cool. Rage Knife. So obviously this builds into Rage Blade. gives 25% attack speed. It deals on hit 35 damage. For what it does, for the gold cost it does, right? It's 800 gold. It gives you 25 attack speed and 35 on hit damage. Oh, but it doesn't give crit chance. Never mind. This is useless. Yeah, okay. So this is just whatever. This is decent. Blighting Jewel. Percent armor penetration, has the Last Whisper as a component, adding Blight Jewel to establish a build path. So this is the AP equivalent of Last Whisper. Cool. Leeching Leer. What the hell is this thing? One of the new building blocks of the system for mages who want to deal and heal. Okay, and it gives Omni Vamp. This is really good. A good item early that gives Omni Vamp. And AP and health. Not bad. Oblivion Orb. Giving mages earlier access to grievous wounds. Okay, same shit. Okay. Seeker's Arm Guard. Okay, same shit. Extel. Okay. Opening the item to be less restrictive. What the fuck even is this? Ability power is 40. Damaging an enemy champion deals an additional magic. Oh, wow. So this is like Gunblade. Or not Gunblade. Revolver. This is basically just Revolver. But it's just damaging them. You don't have to be an auto anymore. That's pretty okay. Bomby Cinder, deal 15 bonus damage per second. Okay, so it's basically just old Sunfires. Or it's literally just Bombies. Winged Moonplate, a new item. We didn't have movement speed plus health component, now we do. Okay, it just gives move speed, that's fine. Verdant Barrier. Giving an MR equivalent to Seeker's Arm Guard, so when you use this for every difficult ability power lane, you have options. Okay. PMR. Every 60 seconds, gain 3 magic resist. Taking damage from enemy champion reduces the time until the next increase. Oh, that's super fucking good. Wait, that's really good. Okay, Verdant Barrier is nice. Warden's Mail. Change the previous effect to something more selfish and noticeable by the owner. Reducing incoming damage from basic attacks by 0.5. Okay, so it's literally giving you the effect of Randuin's just earlier. That's good. Decent armor too, and it's really cheap. Really good early item. Phage. Changing Phage into a health scaling epic that helps fighters beef up in longer fights. So no more move speed. No. After you deal physical damage to a champion, restore health. Okay. I like it. I'll fucks with it. Hearthbound Axe. Home to Phage's old passive. Okay, so it's just Phage old passive. Cool. Excuse me. Tiamat. Passive and active to let each tick on a more center stage. Tiamat is keeping the passive, the active moving to a new item just below. Okay, cool. Attack steal up to 60% total AD. So it just has the passive of the AoE. That's fine. I'm curious to how this will affect Fiora, though, because Fiora used to use it as like an auto attack, semi-reset, semi-damage deal. Like, Fiora used to take advantage of Tiamat heavily. And, you know, by proxy, what is it called? Ravenous. But they're removing the active, so I'm assuming she might go Iron Spike now. Tiamat's active and passive is split up. Deals some attack damage to nearby enemies, minions, and monsters. And they take more affected by ability haste. Okay, so it's really just Tiamat active, but better because it scales now. Cool. Bandled Glass Mirror. Filling a hole in the system so that mana regen items with ability haste aren't 100% bound to heal and shield power. Cool. Okay, epic. Oh my god, I don't want to go through all these, but whatever. Zeal is less, which is super good. Attack speed is more, which is crazy good. Critical strike is less, but that makes sense. Executioners, slightly nerfed. Sheen, nerfed, but got way less, so it's really good. Giant's Belt, buff? No, slightly nerfed, but slightly buffed. Okay. Negatron, nerfed, but buffed. Okay, I'm just going to skip all these. They're fucking useless. Basic starter and support items. Okay, let's read this. Tier. Moving tier into the starting item. Wait, what? The stacking mechanic has been changed to discourage empty spell spam and encourage opportunity. Oh my god, it's a starting item now. That is fucking insane. Attack deal an additional 5 physical damage. That's so good. Having this as a starting item is so good. Holy shit. Strike a target with the ability to consider the shot. Oh my god, yes! You can actually stack so early. That's super good. Dark Seal. Making this a better option for those who don't need mana and unbinding the strength from potions. So it gives AP, health, champion assist, and Krill's kind of strike of glory. Gain 5 stacks. Okay. Okay. Seems like it's nerfed, but whatever. Thorin's Blade. Simply borrowing our strategy options that are more favorable. Okay. Oh my god, yes, it has Omni Vamp. Oh my god, yes. That's so good. But it's 2.5, so it is a little bit less. But now that you get it off abilities and everything, it should be super good now. And AP. Holy shit, that's good. Thorn's Ring. Non-mana users bring back the old last hitting skill test. King Mana restores 6 mana. Excess mana, all 6 of it, if you can't gain mana, is converted into healing. That is so good. Holy shit, these are so good. Basic and Star Item balance changes. Cloak of Agility is now less, and it gives less crit, to be expected. Fairy Charm is more, and gives more. Cool. Support item balancing changes. Oh my fucking god. We're counting the fully upgraded forms of legendaries, but reducing their innate stats so they don't become more powerful in the process. We're also buffing Spoils of War and Tribute. Okay. Legendary. Fully upgraded support items count as legendaries. Gain a charge every 35 seconds for Spoils of War, which is a straight buff. Then Tribute gives you more gold. So it's up more often and gives you more gold, which means supports are actually going to have a lot decent more gold generation. Thank you, God. But because of that, the items are getting nerfed, which is fine by me. Excuse me. Fine by me. Okay, so, Plated Steel Caps. What the hell is this? A long time ago, Ninja Tabi granted dodge chance. Oh my god. Allowing you to sometimes avoid basic attacks entirely. That stopped being the case in 2012. We're finally catching up and retheming the boots. Okay, so it's just a name change, and I agree with it. Really good. Removed items. Okay, let me pay my respects to these items. Except GLP, Rip Vagar. Luden's Echo, it got reborn. Landry's Torment, reborn. Protobelt, reborn. Sunfire's reborn. Righteous, reborn. Iceborne, reborn. Duskblade, reborn. Triforce, okay. All these items are fucking reborn. Athene's was even, I think, is in a better spot now. Mallet is kind of combined. Actually, no, Mallet's kind of dead, actually. It didn't really get reborn. All right, Rip Mallet. Gunblade is a little bit there. Spellbinder, Rip. Rod of Age. What? No, Rod of Ages. Shit. Okay, that's a big hit. We don't have, like, the health scaling item now. Static Shiv, oh well. Static Shiv used to be good when it used to be able to crit, but with the new stupid-ass... oh god, what are they called? The stupid procs. It's like the Storm Razor proc. Energized. With the new Energized mechanic, Static really fell off. It was not good. Twin Shadows, Rip. Who cares? Okay, Rip Vagar. Drum's Fist, whatever. Chalice of Harmony, Rip. Bilgewater. Wait, what? Oh yeah, it's not building into Blade anymore. No more active, I forgot. I like that about Blade. I hate the active, and now it's a passive, and I love it because it's going to be used a lot more often in extended fights. Blade is so much better. Catalyst of Eons. Damn, I'm actually sad that that's gone. That was actually a really good sustain option. Conqueror. Streamline Conqueror's role as damage-oriented rune by shifting its power from sustain to adaptive force. So you're gaining more power from it, but less healing. That's fine. Fine with that. Bloodline. Toning back the overall sustain of Bloodline because everything in the fucking game heals now. So 20 stacks give 12, now 15 stacks give 9. Still pretty decent, but I'm probably going to take attack speed now. This used to be a must-have for me, though, but it's good to see that there's other stuff that heals. Omni fucking Vamp and everything. Ravenous Hunter. So now it heals for 1% Omni Vamp per bounty stack. It was only for abilities, on-hit effects, and items. Now it's everything. That's super good, actually. I'm probably going to take this. Presence of Mind. Okay, so they're reworking it because they didn't like how it just made mana irrelevant. Damaging an enemy champion increases your mana regeneration by 1.5 to 11. That's good. Energy users gain 1.5 energy per second instead. Take damage to 50% maximum mana energy. Okay. So it's not going to help you scale Mana Moon anymore, which is sad, but it still fulfills its original purpose of, hey, you want mana, you can get it with this. Transcendence. I hope they're not nerfing this. Gain 10% CDR. Okay. Gain bonuses upon reaching the following levels. Level 5, more haste. 8, more haste. 11, reduce their main cooldown basic abilities by 20%. Oh my god. Okay, so Transcendence now scales really well. Cosmic Insight. No longer allows you to increase the cap because there is no cap. And now gives 10 item haste. Oh, wow. Okay. And then you can use your summoners more often. Interesting. I think this is worse overall a little bit. Ingenious Hunter. Reduces the cooldown of item actives. That shit's useless. Gain 10 item haste. Okay, so if you just want to spam actives. Interesting. All item cooldowns, not just actives. Okay, cool. Curious to see how that works. Ability Haste Rune stat. The CDR rune had to scale up over time to avoid letting champions reach the cap too quickly. Not that we're using Ability Haste, it gets to provide more immediate benefits. Cool. Time Warp Tonic. I'm not even going to read that. Actually, should I? Maybe it's good now. I'm going to put the consumer on short enough. The clones are stacked as the restoration is applied. Okay, I don't care. Oh my god. Okay, champion adjustments. Holy shit. So most of these, I'm assuming, are going to be ADs because they got hit the hardest with the crit changes. So now, the headshot damage for Caitlyn. I hope Caitlyn doesn't get buffed from this, but I know she is. Headshot damage from levels. It's unchanged. But the headshot damage from crit chance is now... what does this mean? Wait. So, headshot damage from crit chance. So it's getting lower? It's half your bonus. Critical damage percentage times your crit chance. AD. I'm assuming this just means more. This is fucking overly complicated for no reason. They really should have said something about this. Math behind this is super gross. Okay, they did. The headshot bonus damage scales off Infinity Edge's crit damage in a way that completely ignored preseason systematic crit damage reduction. We're baking that systematic change into headshots calculation, though Kate is still arguably buffed relative to other marksmen since the new IE's greater maximum crit damage increase washes out most of this nerf at full build. So this is a buff if you have full crit with IE. That's fine. Okay, Jhin, my boy. Passive crit damage reduction and crit chance decreased. Wait, what? So the passive crit damage reduction decreasing is good. That means Jhin's crits are going to do more, because originally they did less. But the crit chance decreased. I don't understand that. We still want Jhin's crits to feel noticeably different from his non-crits. So we're nerfing the AD he gets from crit chance. Oh. Instead of his crit damage. So he's getting less AD but doing more with it. So the crit damage is 14% instead of 25%. So it's 11% better. But you're losing 10% of damage, which overall is still better, I think. But you really have to go the IE build. If you don't go the IE build, Jhin is useless. Jhin is actually hard stuck into one build. That's very upsetting. But it's fine. I mean, I guess it just makes it easier for Jhin. But wow, that's super upsetting. Senna, passive crit damage reduction and crit chance per 20 souls decreased. R now collects miss rates on cast. I never understood why it didn't. Like, it says any ability, or not any ability, if you, wait, no, actually. Never mind, I thought this was something different. I thought it meant that if you are someone and you've already autoed them once, it'll give you a stack. It just collects the stacks. That's fine. Bring your Senna into the crit system by having your crits happen less, but hit even stronger. That was the main reason I think Senna wasn't a great AD, because her crits fucking sucked asshole. So now, the crit damage reduction is no longer 35%. It's now 14%, which is fine. The crit chance per 20 souls is now 10%, which is fine. So now collects Mist Race. Mist Race still only spawn near Senna. That's fine. I'm actually curious about something. So, pre-preseason, the crit dealt 150 because it was 25% less. Now it's 14% less, and the crit still deals 150. So wait, this hasn't changed. They're just bringing it in. Okay, so the old crit is going to do the same as the new crit. But overall, I think Jhin is still going to do less damage somehow. Because your crit is still going to deal the same as the crit before this change goes through. But you're not going to scale as hard, because you're not going to go to 225 damage. This is weird, actually. This is interesting, but this is weird. This is just a straight nerf to Jhin. I'm assuming they're doing this because with all the new changes, Jhin is going to be better. or ADs are going to be better in general, but this is actually kind of a nerf. Jhin will not be able to hit as hard as he used to, crit-wise, unless he just gets more AD from items, which it looks like he's not. Actually, this is weird. I think Jhin might be a little worse off. A little bit. Not greatly, but a little bit. Just looking at damage and stat-wise. I'm not talking about like new passives, new actives, and everything. Just stat-wise, Jhin is a little worse off. Trinity, passive crit chance flattened. Make sure Trinity doesn't waste stats at max free with this crit build. So now he just gets 0.4%. So he gets 40. Wow. Okay, cool. Because he probably will get a lot more crit as the game goes on. So early this helps, later not so much. That's fine. Passive now converts crit strike chance above 100% to bonus AD. So you now actually scale while building more crit. Now that the crit system offers more interesting options, we want to make sure Yasuo wasn't wasting stats or getting locked out of exciting items because of his passive. So now, anytime you get an over 100% crit, you get more damage. Cool. Same thing with Yone. Okay, Akali, just getting buffed with energy. That lets her spam more. That's cool. For the loss of Hextech, Gunblade, and Presence of Mind, increased energy pool. Okay, cool. Katarina. Okay, so to make a long story short, they're making Katarina on hit now, which is interesting. Why are they doing this? Because she lost a lot of her core items. She needed help to keep her identity as an assassin in the new item system. We're helping her adapt to new shop by further differentiating AD and AP builds. Adding a new scaling hooks that let her access the on-hit system. The Katarina you know and love is still here, but without Gunblade dictating her build, her daggers might not look the same every time you see her. So yeah, it just applies on-hit effects, and now it scales a little bit off attack speed. Wow. 25% efficiency. That's crazy. And she throws 15 daggers per ult. That's actually crazy. Holy shit. Okay, Kale. Passive bonus attack speed now scales with AP. Wait, what? Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, so they just buffed Kale a little bit if you build AP on her, which you should, which is great. Ornn! So basically, they're changing Ornn in a massive way, a little bit. He can now upgrade Mythics, which is great. He gains access to increased bonus health, in addition to armor and magic resist, which is great. And his bonus defense is now increased per masterwork he creates. So he's just scaling harder now. He's literally just scaling harder. So now he masterwork upgrade value. So all the value of the masterwork upgrades is worth 1,000 gold. 2 for Ornn, 1 for allies, 1 for Ornn and allies. Okay, then yeah, so now for Ornn, you can't double stack the mythics, or the upgrades for yourself, which I think is a little fair. And to compensate for that, he now gains 10 additional bonus health, armor, and MR, just, for nothing. And each time he upgrades a mythic, he gets more. That's crazy. He's going to be such a late game animal. Holy fuck. Okay, Victor, this is actually a change that's very interesting. So, Victor no longer starts with the Hex Core. He now upgrades his abilities instead by just playing the fucking game, basically. So, his mana growth is up, which was a big thing that the Hex Core provided that not many people knew about. The Hex Core also provided, which I don't know if many people know about aside from Victor mains, it provided you with scaling AP and mana. So not just mana, but scaling AP as well. So I saw they were buffing the E. I need to see by how much though, but let's see. So you're no longer getting the Hex Core and it's not upgradable. But now you can get 1 Hex Fragment from minion and monster kills, 5 from large minion kills, and 25 from champion takedowns. And then, so it's similar to a Gangplank system, actually, which I think is a lot better and more fun. It's like a little mini game now. You can spend 100 Hex Fragments to upgrade a basic ability. Once all 3 basics, you basically get the ult for free. Now, the only thing I don't like is you're losing the AP value of what the Hex Core gave you. And the Hex Core, I believe, at max level, at level 18, gave you 180 AP around there. I know it gave you more than Rabadon's. Now, I don't know if, because Victor can still build another item, I guess it's offset, just the pure stat loss is offset by the fact that you have a passive or an active now whereas before you literally just could have stats and that's it. You couldn't get like a sixth or a fifth, technically, if you're getting boots, a fifth passive or active at your disposal. You just had a stat stick. But in lieu of that, they're upgrading the E to do 10% more laser ratio damage and then 10% more aftershock damage. Overall, I think this is honestly just better for Victor, because now he could build an item that, instead of just giving him straight stats with help, which helped because they were a lot, he can now actually get something else that might be more useful. So, champion mana adjustments. Between mana changes for items like Tear, Sheen, Lich Bane, and lack of mana on most mythic items, we're giving the following champions a plus 20 increase to mana growth. So all these champions are getting more mana. Cool. Other champion changes. Brand. What are they doing to Brand? Well, our last champion should have Brand bring back into the mid lane. He's a little too strong in average play. Damming down his early game. So what are they doing? The explosion damage is scaling longer. So instead of getting 14% at level 9, you get it at level 17. So it takes longer to scale, which is fine. Excuse me. And the cooldown of V is going up, which makes sense because it hits everyone now. Amumu. This is interesting. I didn't think Amumu was that good, but they're nerfing him slightly, which is fine. Elise. Opening up Elise's build diversity with the new system. Now applies on-hit effects. That's great. That's just a straight buff to Elise. Seraphine. So, I've played Seraphine. I've played Seraphine mid, played Seraphine top, I've played Seraphine support. What are my opinions on her? I think she sucks asshole. Now, she has a terrible early game. She has a decent mid game. She has a great late game. Not as good as others, but really good. Her cooldowns are the strongest thing about her. Her cooldowns and her kit. Her damage doesn't really matter until late because of the cooldown. Because you could spam her Q so often, and because it does decent damage, I'm even scared to say decent because it really doesn't. It's just the cooldown of how much you could spam it later just makes it do damage. Now, early to mid, she's basically useless. She's literally just a CC bot and a slight shield and poke champion slightly. She reminds me of Karma. She doesn't do anything well. She's like a jack of all trades, a master of none. But she scales very well, and especially in teamfights, she's really good. The CC and utility she provides with her ulti and E and W is insane. And her passive scales so well with teamfighting. It's really good. Basically, what I'm saying is she's shit early game, she's better mid, she's great late if your team groups. Now, they don't like her only going support, and I just explained why she sucks mid. She has no early and barely a mid game without teammates near her. And people are clowning on Riot for this too. They're saying like, oh, I'm making a champion that does better when teammates are around me, so why is she going support? No fucking duh, why is she going support? She's better with teammates. Are you stupid, Riot? You made her this way. Anyway, this champion's a blemish on League of Legends. I think she's okay. She's decently fun. She's not that good. Again, until mid to late game when you're grouping with your teammates and you have cooldown. But other than that, Riot didn't like that she's not good, so they're buffing her a little bit. So what are they doing? They're nerfing her support, the place where she was actually good at and where I think she still deserves to be. They're buffing her Q ratio, so it's a little better later, but it doesn't matter because it still does no damage. Or her passive ratio, sorry. They're also buffing her Q, but it still sucks ass, so it doesn't matter. And then E, the beat drop, is now a lot better at wave clearing, so you don't have to max it first. You can max Q, which does more damage. And just the E got buffed. Literally all this shit is fucking whatever. It's just... Seraphine's a little better mid, a little worse at support early, but you didn't play her for supporting early. You played her for mid to late. Okay, Twitch. This Twitch change they're doing, I'm not going to comment on how Twitch is, because again, all the items are changing. And Twitch is Twitch. We know what he is for a while. He's a late game carry. He has the new Mana Moon build, but that's changing, so I don't want to say anything about it. They're making him scale off AP, which is weird, especially since Rageblade doesn't give AP anymore. I mean, sometimes you could go on hit Twitch, but it's weird. I don't know why they like AP Twitch so much. I really don't like that. So they want to quickly stack Deadly Venom and detonate it, then rat-tattling it out to reset. It'll scale worse than AD Twitch, who isn't sacrificing anything for these changes, which is good. So they're just trying to make a weird offshoot playstyle for Twitch, which is AP, which is bobbing and weaving in and out just to detonate E, which is disgustingly bad. You should not go this. I don't know why they're encouraging this playstyle. People will literally say, oh, I'm an AP Twitch main. They're a troll main. That's what they are. This is ass. Bully Bear. His passive now scales with AP. That's great. The E deals more damage to minions late. That's fine. Bully Bear is still pretty decent. I think he's in a decent spot. These are literally just buffs to him. So, really cool. Incoming heal indicator. We usually build it. Okay, this actually I hated. I noticed this on this patch. When you're getting healed, the health bar you have, the health bar amount that you're going to get healed is like a grayed out green health bar. And it looks so weird. I feel like it's terrible. We originally built this as a quality of life change, but I've seen a bunch of questions, so let's talk about it now. For abilities and effects with delayed healing, it'd be hard to know mid-fight how much health you or your opponent will get. The only thing I want to say I don't like about it is the look. It looks fucking like so weird. I don't like the look of it. Leading to a situation where you back out of a fight you could have won or stay in a fight you're about to lose. The change makes that decision clear by indicating the amount of incoming heals on a champion health bar. We're adjusting the visualization of this effect based on feedback so far. Yes, like toning down the brightness of the incoming health to make it easier to distinguish. Yes. Let us know if you think further changes are needed. Yes. Okay, cool. This is great. This is great. ARAM balance changes. I'm actually going to look at these a little bit because I play ARAM a lot more now. Some adjustments to to account for the wider item changes happening. Nearby minion gold death is going from 5 to 6. Ambient gold increased by 10%. That's great. Kill gold increased by 10%. That's great. Cannon minions will now spawn on both sides every other wave, starting at wave 3 instead of alternating. So they actually match each other with cannons. That's super good. Guardian items are now counted as legendary items. Okay, 70% of the original price. Cool. Against 50. Okay. Invisibility detection. This is the big one. So they're removing Oracle's elixir from ARAM. So Teemo can't get insta-fucked. Now, cannon minions and super minions have one charge of a modified Umbral Glaive Blackout passive. So they can detect traps when they first see it, but after that, it's over. And only the minions can have this. So no more can you really, really hard counter Teemo. Yeah, you could just follow the minions and be careful, but after a little bit, even the minions won't save you. But anyway, that's it. End of season. Yeah, ranked ended, and then there's Victorious Lucian and all his chromas. That's actually really hot. Holy shit. Wait, how do you get those chromas? If you achieve gold or higher, you achieve Victorious Lucian. New to 2020, also have a Victorious Chrome for each rank you hit above gold. Oh, try on top, everyone who finished ranked placements will receive an Eternal Lucian Series 1 permanent. Oh! Rank profile and rank profile back. Okay! Thanks, Riot. Okay, wow. And then I have the Honor 5 capsule, because I'm Honor 5, I'm honorable. And then, wow, okay, that shit's actually pretty ass. But anyway, that's pretty good. Clash is happening. There also is Clash rewards. Ranked update. We're making a couple updates to the Summoner's Rift rank system. Okay. Brand new accounts entering rank for the first time will now take into account the additional variables to ensure more accurate original placement. Next, in order to smooth out progression and speed bumps, we're removing promotion series for interdivisional transitions. This means that going from Division 4 to Division 1 for any given rank will be automatic. When you reach 100 LP, any additional LP rolls you into the next rank. Consequently, if you lose below 100 or below 0, you go into the lower rank. Great. We're now removing the ability to do Q at ranks master above to highlight the competitive prowess. So now everything masters and above is solo queue. That's super fucking cool, actually. I like that. Worse for ADs, but good in general. Lead client update. I'm not reading that shit. Bug fixes, I'm not reading that shit. And upcoming skins I went over. Okay, I didn't think it would take this long, but I mean, what did I really fucking expect? Holy shit. This patch note is crazy. Lovely picture, by the way. Look at that fucking picture. You got Samira there. You got Yumi chilling. You got the shopkeepers, Vi, Aatrox, Katarina showing off her ass. God, it's not November. I wish it wasn't. But anyway, overall, I'm actually going to give this patch, the preseason patch, a 9 MARC MERRILLS out of 10. Easy 9 MARC MERRILLS out of 10. I would kiss MARC MERRILL 9 times out of 10 for this patch. The only reason I'm not giving it a 9.5 is because I don't know how much of the changes are good and bad. I have my assumptions, Some of it is not too great, but nothing I've seen here is bad or I'm worried about. If anything, I'm excited about everything they've showed. I don't think anything is bad. We might have massive balance like failures here. These items might be OP, they might be underpowered, they might be ass, I don't know, but it looks exciting, and you know what? I'm just overall excited. 9 out of 10 MARC MERRILLS. I'm fucking out of here. It's been 2.5 hours. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I certainly did, actually. I'm super excited to play League for a little bit again, because I've been not really caring about League, but it's going to be quick because Cold War is coming out soon. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll be back whenever the next patch note is. I don't know if it's in 2 weeks or not, but